What the deal, my people? This is the Cookout. I'm your host, Bad Luck. I'm in the building, man, with some incredible motherfuckers today, man. Some good, righteous, wholesome brothers and all. But I got my nigga Polly Rob in the building one time.
I ain't got no alcohol, so I don't know how this shit finna go.
My nigga Badru's definitely in the building one time.
I got weed, though.
My nigga Doughboy is in the building one time. And I always say, you know, sometimes I have special guests, but this guy, I wouldn't call it a special guest. This is a friend of ours.
Friend of ours.
A friend of ours. My man Flip is definitely in the building right now.
Hey, that's
man.
what's up, man. Flip the Hood Technologist. What's
Woo!
happening?
And let me explain, you know, what this is, man, because I'm excited about the show, man, because it's a lot of game and a lot of gems going to be dropped today. And a lot of shit, basically it's necessities. You know what I mean? Especially for, I say for older and young, especially with black youth today, you know what I mean? And especially where the world is going and the kind of world we're in today and where the world is going, this is definitely needed. A cat like Flip is definitely needed because all the shit he's doing, man, is just crazy dope work he's doing and putting in, man, and definitely on the front line, making change and not just talking shit. So, you know, I had to have my man come through, man. First of all, I want to say welcome to the Cookout, my good brother.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amongst like-minded brothers and everything.
Yeah.
Let's start off like this, if I may.
Go ahead, bro.
For the people who don't know, Flip the Hood Technologist. What is it that you do?
All right. Most people would know me off of social media for I created a virtual reality headset. I call myself Flip the Hood Technologist.
1 second. You got to clap it up for that. You can't just create no fucking
Yeah. We need the clap button.
Right. You can't just create no fucking headset black out the hood.
Right.
Create a fucking virtual reality headset and just let that just sweep on by. Niggas don't listen to your shit.
Straight up. I call myself Flip the Hood Technologist because I'm supposed to be able to incorporate technology wherever and whenever I can, like just to make your life easier. It don't matter.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we on.
Okay,
so it was all about
That was unprofessional as fuck. Sorry, go ahead.
it was all about just being able to incorporate technology into people's lives, and the headset came about because I had a Samsung Gear VR, which was one of the first mobile virtual reality headsets. And I got it when I bought my new Samsung phone, which cost me like $500, and the headset was like $120. But just blown away by the technology, blown away from by the capabilities of it and the implications of what it meant going forward. Like the virtual reality can transport you to anywhere in the world.
Right.
It could send you to Africa in the jungle, and you are actually, it ain't no National Geographic, watch it on the TV. Like, nah, you turn around, like it might be a lion behind you. It's a monkey swinging up in the trees.
Right.
So just seeing that, knowing the implications of it, when I went around, I got a big-ass I can cuss. Yeah, I got a big-ass family. Yeah. So I got a bunch of little cousins and stuff, and they would always just bug me, hey, man, let me see your headset. Let me see your headset. And I couldn't leave. Like, and my cell phone would have to go in the headset, and it was like, damn. But I realized they would never get it for at least another year and a half. Like, they wouldn't get to experience what I was experiencing.
Right.
So the whole thing was, I seen Google. Google came out with a Google Cardboard, and Google came out with a Google Cardboard, which was basically a VR headset made out of cardboard that you load your cell phone in.
I seen that too. Yeah.
Wow.
They got them in Happy Meals and all kind of stuff now, but they lack certain functionality, like it's a button on here underneath, and it's a controller to it. Initially, like the cardboard couldn't wrap around your head, so you just kind of like
gotta hold it,
held it up to your face or whatever. So I knew if they could make it out of cardboard, I could get it manufactured out of plastic.
Right.
And by playing the Samsung VR, I realized that you could download VR games. Samsung kind of lock you into playing their, like, as soon as
Right.
you plug the phone in, it goes to their thing. They won't let you just,
Right.
play games from other little things. But since I seen that you can download, it's thousands of VR apps already like going. Google Cardboard got an app that got apps inside of it and
Right.
experiences and
A
everything.
lot of third-party apps that allow you to just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Exactly,
You know
but Samsung didn't give you the ability to actually use those. They
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
give you the ability to experience them.
Right.
So I knew, like, the only thing that was stopping the little ones from experiencing it was how Samsung did it, how they kind of like, how they shaped theirs to only be able to.
Right,
And I understand they only wanted you needed their phone to
Right.
be able to play their
Right.
headset. So my whole thing was, if they got third-party apps that you can download straight to your phone, it don't matter what kind of phone you got. You can have an Obama phone. Like, you can
Right.
download these apps. You just need some space on your phone. And Google Cardboard, they can make it out of cardboard. It can be manufactured out of
Right.
Plastic.
Exactly.
And I knew if they was doing it, like, China was the place that they was doing
Right.
it at.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, just got on the internet and found a manufacturer in China, and they was already manufacturing little generic headsets or whatever. But to be able to give them my, like, specifications, like, I want headphones on mine, because even the Samsung Gear, like,
Right.
you got to plug headphones into it, and the headphones come out of the headset.
Right.
So it looked like a bunch of stuff going on. It wasn't like a one cohesive unit,
Right.
and it didn't come with a controller. So
Because your shit got Beats by Dre's to them.
Right.
It looked like, I mean, you know what I mean? Look,
straight up. So the ability to, and the fact that I found out, like, I created the headset, gave you the earphones, and a PlayStation style controller for $65.
Right.
And they was giving you a headset for $120.
Right.
Like, they was giving you just a headset.
And you need
for
the phone,
$120.
which is another 500.
Exactly.
Or 500, right.
So, and the only other virtual reality things out there was Oculus Rift, which
Right.
is
Oculus, yeah.
yeah, they want 700 for the
Right.
600
Right.
for theirs.
Right.
PlayStation got an add-on
I
to the PlayStation 4. They want 500 for theirs, and it was like
And I think Facebook got Oculus now.
they bought it.
Yeah, yeah,
They
they
bought it
got it.
early on because
Right.
Zuckerberg kind of
Right.
he decided, like, people gonna stop being on. That's the whole thing. People gonna stop being on the internet,
Right.
and they
Right.
gonna start being inside a virtual
Right.
reality
Right.
or
Space.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but Mark Zuckerberg lost money. They done fired the CEO to Oculus at least
Right.
2 times since it been out because they misinterpreted. They bought all that, shipped them to all those stores, and people didn't understand it. Like,
Right.
people, like, and they wasn't gonna pay 500 for the experience just off back. Like,
Man.
I don't even know what it feel like, and you just want me to come out 500
Right,
off
right,
the back?
right.
Like,
See,
nah.
this is the thing. Virtual reality has been something for years
Yeah.
that people are exploring in terms of, just not just the functionality, but just the world. Like, when you speak of virtual reality, like, you're actually creating a separate world for people to indulge in.
Yep.
Consumers are not ready to grasp what that actually means. The only ones who kind of get it are the gamers, the computer gamers, not just all gamers, but the computer gamers, the gamers who play what's that one game? Like a Warcraft or something like that, and
Minecraft
yeah,
and all that,
Minecraft or
yeah.
whatnot. But that's a whole nother demographic to kind of understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think personally, I still think that it's going to take a couple of years
No.
for people to really grasp it, unless it's going to take people that's from our natural communities to be able, like what you're doing, just to
Exactly.
get to
Well,
where
I
I'm
was-
saying.
I was gonna
It'll
say-
take people like us to be able to indulge in that, so people can understand the full concept of that.
I was gonna say the
You know
key,
what I mean?
the key factor in that is the flip.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
He would be the key factor in that because this is the thing, man. It's like local astronauts, right?
Yeah.
We call ourselves a collective of creatives,
Right.
right? These kids, if you look at a cat like Jaden Smith, right? It's a generation of Jaden Smiths
Right,
all over this motherfucker.
Right.
Very bright, smart, forward-thinking, open-minded kids
Right.
who are already ahead of the curve.
Right.
Right? Like, we always say, and not a knock to you at all, right? We always say what we aren't ready for.
Right.
When it's a gang of motherfuckers that are way open-minded, like, they're so spaced out, and I don't mean spaced out negatively.
Right,
I mean,
right.
like, in a great, excellent, being spaced out mind frame, I think they're more than ready. What happens is we didn't have a flip. He would be the key factor.
Right, right.
Like, these kids now, first of all, my nephew, my youngin, my nephew, and my cousins, they play fucking, what's the shooting game? I sound old now.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty
Call
shit
of Duty,
all
right.
fucking day long, right?
Right.
All these games, like, they're doing all kind of shit. Like, they're damn it just in the game. It's point of view already.
Right, right.
It's POV already, right?
Right.
So, like, kids like that, they're playing 2K and all kind of shit. These niggas are ready for the next level shit.
Right,
What happens
right.
is, like he said, it comes with the parent. They can't buy the shit. Their parents can't afford the shit.
Right.
Because if I had a hard enough time telling my mom to buy me Jordans that were 110 when I was young.
Right.
Straight up.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, my mom was laughed me out the house to spend 110 on some shoes I was going to go fuck up the first day.
Straight up.
When I came home, right?
Right.
So now I have to ask them to spend 120 for this headset, and you still got to buy a phone.
Yep.
Another phone, because you probably got a $570 phone already
Right.
with the iPhone.
Straight up.
Right? So now I got to have another phone. And you already got a $400-something PlayStation and $500-something Xbox in the house. So now it's like, financially, this wouldn't be even a smart thing to do.
Nope.
It's not.
Well, the thing about it is, you know, first off, gaming has never been a smart economic decision. It's all, you know, it's a want.
It's a
Nigga,
luxury.
we want to play
It's a
games. We
luxury,
want to go in.
straight
It's a
up.
luxury. You feel me?
But okay,
So-
okay. But
so,
but
go ahead.
See that when I did, okay. This is where I disagree. Yes, it's somewhat a luxury, right? But gaming has allowed people to think way out the box. Do you know what gaming does to your creative juices?
Right, which was going to get to my point. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is,
Finish- yeah, go
okay,
ahead.
so if this luxury, okay, if the gaming is a luxury, right? But it almost helped in some kind of way. I can't speak your life, but I'm sure it influenced you in some kind of way to help with a lot of your creative shit with technology, right? Like, so
Right.
a lot of games, like niggas is creating shit by game. Niggas is playing games and creating the other shit. My man bought the Samsung shit and was like, yo, I can do this.
Straight up.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then we didn't even get into schooling background or engineering school. We don't know. We didn't get into that. But what I'm saying is, no matter what, you did that. Like, you had something that was like, you know what? I can do this with this. I can make this better. You know how many kids are sitting up playing games and shit like, I can make my own video game?
Right.
Literally. So there's schools filled with niggas making video games and shit.
Well, see,
that are not over 20,
the thing
25.
about it, the thing about it, which is the best thing about it, you know, going back to what I was saying about people not being ready. I'm talking about it past tense. Even now, like when I say 5 years from now, I'm talking about the overflow of virtual reality being now the thing. And I think that, you know, the reason why it's going to happen is because, of course, people like Flip, and the idea of virtual reality is it's a place to explore. These times right now, we're not into necessarily exploring. We're into information coming to us sending out information, and virtual reality is a setting where it's like you're going back to the natural idea of going outside and trying to figure out, you know, what's new and what's out there. That's a real virtual reality I feel like is going to bring bring again, like another way to explore and build new worlds. And I think that shit is dope.
Well, I think
You know what I'm saying?
our biggest stepping stone, inside of the whole thing is, yes, people, we haven't seen even the tips of virtual reality.
Right.
Or augmented reality, which is what Pokemon
Right,
Go
exactly.
is. Virtual reality means I put the headset on, I'm in a totally different place.
Right.
Exactly.
Augmented reality is I allow stuff. I can still see the environment that I'm in, but now I can have
manipulate.
dragons going
Right.
on the wall. I
Right.
can have this different stuff. How you doing? So I think the biggest thing is you got a bunch of nerds creating all of the content for virtual reality.
Right.
You have no practical use for virtual reality. Nobody in the hood has used it in a way that would appeal to the
Talk to
youth
'em.
of
Right.
of like this day and age.
Talk to 'em.
They can only see it. Even me, I put it with a controller and everything, so people automatically think, oh, it's a gaming system. It's a gaming system. Virtual reality is so much more than that.
Right.
This thing right here, this is a 360 camera.
Right.
If I sat this thing up and start recording, I could, inside of this virtual reality headset, I could put my phone in there, link it with this, and I could be in the middle of our conversation.
Right now,
It's
across the world.
Exactly.
Coming
It's
soon
the
to local
ability
astronauts.
to now, for club promoters, y'all spend all this money trying to get people to feel what it feel like to be inside of y'all clubs. But if y'all had a 360 camera and y'all,
Right.
y'all recorded
Right.
y'all own content, then all you would have to tell people is, hey, go get a virtual reality headset. Whether it's Fliptendo or not, they can have a Google Cardboard.
Right.
But now you can see those bottle girls pass
Right.
your thing, and you sitting in your
Right.
living room. You can,
Right.
So, yes, the gaming industry is what introduced us to virtual reality. It's what made it kind of like, popular and cutting edge. But it's the practical uses of virtual reality that will actually take it to the next stage when realtors and everything start telling their customers, no, you don't got to fly to New York to see this house. Put on a virtual reality headset, and we didn't,
Man.
created a walkthrough to now. Even at my company, I work for a multidisciplinary engineering company. We build these big ass buildings. We work for Google, all of these places. And when we bring the clients in to do meetings and everything, we post all of these pictures on the walls, all of these renderings, and tell them, this is what your building will look like once it gets built. This is what your building will look like once it gets built. We have the 3D models already there.
Right.
All we would then have to do is create walkthroughs, which we already do,
Right.
but we just put them on TV. You look at a screen and say, oh, this is what it looks like to walk through the lobby. All you would have to do is
Put on your
translate
headset.
that
Right.
information into a virtual reality walkthrough. And now, when your client comes into a meeting, here, take this headset. This is what
Right.
it feels like
They'll
to
be
be
living
in front
in
of your building.
They'll be living it in
Yeah.
their house prior
Yeah.
to them purchasing or
Exactly.
doing construction on. See,
Before you,
Going back to what I-
but before you
Go.
do, though,
Oh, okay.
I would just like to say the beautiful Miss Parker has stepped in the building.
Hello.
She has to be introduced properly before she
Hi.
speaks.
Hello, Miss.
And how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
You kind of jumped in on the conversation, but I'm pretty sure you know what's going
I
on,
got
right?
it. Yeah, I'm absolutely there with you.
Okay.
And I think that everything you said is amazing it's very lucrative. But my question is, from a morality standpoint, with being that it's taken so long for us to even develop the technology, bring it to a point where it is useful in the manner that you're speaking about, if you think about it from a morality standpoint, which is my only stand back from virtual reality, do you think that the negative aspects of virtual reality will happen faster than what's happening with the positive aspects of it? So, with great power comes great responsibility. And at this juncture, there are already kids who don't leave their rooms, adults who don't leave their homes because they're so stuck on television. If with the rate that it's being developed right now, what do you think that's going to do considering this day and age and how things are happening? I feel like people are going to stop coming outside. You're going to stop being able to interact with one another because the reality world, it suits all your needs. Like at this point, there are people that get catfished because they set up relationships on the internet. The first thing that came to my mind is I'm going to have a full reality life where I don't ever have to get up.
Right.
Because if I don't have anything scheduled where I am getting paid, I don't leave the house. I would rather stay at home and save money than go outside and spend money. And if that comes with a virtual reality subscription, oh, my life is about to be lit.
Right. That's interesting. What you think about that?
Well, I understand what she's saying, and I actually don't believe we have control. We can pretend like we have a say-so over where technology and where this world is headed. All we really do have a say-so over is how we'll be represented in that space and how much control or how much morality we'll have within there. But
It's like Total Recall. This
Yeah.
whole scenario is like Total Recall. And like again, you can't, like you're saying, you can't judge. It's going to be an individual basis. Like what people do with great power comes great responsibility. So what people do with that power is going to be up to them. But I just have a concern that the rate that negative people will be able to cultivate how they think is going to expand with the virtual reality world.
I don't
Well,
think it's
that's-
going to stop life.
that's
It's not going
the-
to stop. It's not going to stop life.
That's the importance.
But the real
of-
life is getting terrible. Real life is getting awful.
Yeah.
It's getting awful enough for people to want to stay in the house. There are things that are happening in the world right now that, first of all, have already happened. But at the rate that they're happening again, that is why technology itself isn't further. Because we keep repeating history.
Well, we have the ability to shape that. That's why it's important that people that not only the people that are in control of the technology, that make the technology set, that price it out that far and do that stuff. It's important for people like us to get inside, to be on the forefront of this, because this is an industry that not many people have adopted yet, especially not
Right.
people from where we come from.
Right.
So when they do decide to do it, they shouldn't be left with only the Zuckerbergs and,
Right.
and those people that have created content. We
Exactly.
need to actually create useful content. For instance, I seen a thing where certain school districts, they don't have the budget to be able to take kids on certain type of field trips, educational field trips.
Right.
Whereas they do have the budget to have a 360 camera and to send one person on the field trip. And now you've created an experience that now you can take that back to the classroom, and where we didn't have the money to take y'all to the Gettysburg or to show y'all a reenactment out there, like we can give y'all a headset and now you get to look around and feel what it feels like. I think the positives always outweigh the negatives. It's just who's in control of creating it.
That goes for schooling in general, because I feel like even with what you're saying, just to piggyback off that, there are children in certain school districts that can't even get the proper classes that they need
Exactly.
at
Right.
this juncture.
Right.
So
Especially
if I can
across the
get you in
country.
an AP class across town, because that is the level of learning that you're at, but you
Right.
just don't live in that area, that's a tremendous opportunity for children to have.
Right.
But in the same vein, I can say, just to even contradict myself, I'm a Mark Zuckerberg or what's his name with Apple, Steve Jobs. As soon as this shit takes off, I want to be the T-Mobile of virtual reality lives, where you got to pay me a month to live this life.
That's why he spent $800 billion or whatever, how
On
much
top.
I
ever
feel
money
like
he spent on it.
If I just have one person to walk around with me and live my life with me with the virtual reality headset on, and somebody wants to pay to live the exact life that I'm living, which is exactly what's happening with Snapchat and Instagram, that's why people want to watch these live stories. They want to feel like they're hanging out with you,
Exactly.
they're
Right, right.
partying with you.
But-
And somebody's going to pay for that a month.
Right.
Right.
But do you also? But I also think like it's like me talking about. It's like me and my lady was having a conversation talking about black experience, and she says how she says how sometimes she feels bad that she's not as pissed off about a lot of shit that she should be, because it's draining, right?
It's going to take cultural appropriation to the next level.
Right.
Cultural appropriation to the next level.
But if you sit back and look at it, it's like, okay, I was telling her there's some things that you're just not gonna be able to control.
Yeah.
Like even with technology,
Yeah.
right? Or if you talk about religion in schools, technology, you want to talk about the black experience or slavery being pulled from history and all these things, right? It's just some shit you're not gonna be able to control. But if we create,
Exactly.
see, the thing is crazy. It's like me and Knife want to have a conversation about HBCUs, right?
Yeah.
And the difference between HBCUs and a lot of other colleges, right?
Yeah.
We talked about at HBCUs how they only teach you how to exist in this rat race that we have now. You know, you go to school, get a degree, get a job, get married, have kids, and kind of live that life out.
Yeah.
Right? Where if you go to these other schools, other schools, they teach you how to create a job, how to create a thing or create something, right? So with even with technology, it's like, okay, we can have an argument about not being able to step outside of technology and people aren't going outside anyway, but then you have somebody will take Pokemon and say, well, no, I got something for that.
Yep.
Right.
I got everybody outside. I got so many people outside fucking with each other and having dealings with each other. I got, that I'm getting in trouble for it. The people don't even want us on their property. Like,
Right.
And he took augmented reality,
Yeah.
which is kind of the cousin of virtual reality, right?
Yep.
And got motherfuckers outside and talking and
Running
fucking with each other,
around,
running
straight
around
up.
and
Right.
meeting people, going out to eat and play. You know what I mean? That was kind of like an answer to that. Somebody who
Straight
said,
up.
"Well, I did that."
Well, my thing is, if just say me, I shut down right now. I decided it is immoral. I'm a trap kids in the house. Da da da. They're gonna do it anyway.
It's going to happen.
Exactly, it's gonna happen. So all I can do is use technology to produce a better solution for things we're having problem with. For instance, a lot of people want to homeschool their children. Everybody's not capable of homeschooling their child. But we can create a homeschooling network. All we need is one school of teachers, qualified teachers, and now, you can now give people... You-
So,
oh.
no. Finish your thought. Finish your
No,
thought.
so you can now give the kids, how we always say, black teachers need to educate black children. Now instead of homeschooling and dealing with the issues of your parent trying to be able to educate you or not being able to, or giving you a unsatisfactory type of education, you can now provide a solution for that. We can create our own school where we might not have the means to get the building, to do all of this and play their game. We can use technology to our advantage to actually create solutions to problems that we're having, to different...
And that's another thing too, is that with that, to goes along with that, is that we all a village. It's a community thing to advance, right? Either as a people or as a world, right? So it's not everybody's responsibility is not everything.
Right.
Right? So the guys who are here to advance art or technology, their job is to just keep taking that shit further and further and further. Who may be irresponsible with the nuclear bomb or whatever comes out of that? Like, I hate to use that as an analogy, but it's like, it's only as bad as the user.
Right.
And we can't, like, halt progression because people morally haven't got their shit together, because that's something that just has to move forward. You know what I mean? And hopefully we become more responsible with it. For example, I remember when microwaves came out. Right? Everybody had to have a microwave. The word itself sounds stupid to do to your food.
Right.
Microwave your shit. You feel what I'm saying? But it was new technology that we weren't really ready for, because then we was nuking everything. Everything had do. It was like microwave everything, right? So to where there was a point where there was packages that they didn't have an oven option.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
this is microwave only.
Right.
Right? So over time, but then we got back in tune with our health, because society kind of started moving forward. And now the microwave shit is kind of like passe. Like, a lot of people don't even have them in their homes no more.
Right.
I know I don't. You know what I mean? Some people do, and only use them to warm food up or know how to balance the shit out. So sometimes technology going to progress past where we ready, I feel like, and we got to catch up. And sometimes that probably was pull us to another level of, you know what I mean, or
And
whatever.
I think as far as technology goes, I've always kind of stood on, especially with blacks, especially with us. I hate that we're so behind in so many things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're advancing a lot of shit, but we're behind in so much shit that deals with this world,
Straight
this
up.
world, and who actually are, the puppet masters to what goes on, whatever.
Shaping it,
who's shaping
exactly.
what goes on. So if I see look, man. First of all, they've been gearing us up for virtual reality for years.
Right.
That's where movies like Total Recall come
Right,
from.
right.
And that fucking, what's that movie with Denzel and fucking Russell Crowe? When he chased dude was inside the other world. He was chasing him. Virtuosity.
Oh, yeah, Virtuosity. Ooh. Lawnmower Man.
Virtuosity, Lawnmower
A whole
Man.
bunch of
fucking
shit.
all these- Dude, they was
Yeah, it's
gearing us
crazy.
up for this shit.
Straight
like
up.
we always thought it was way out, right? We like, remember the fucking nigga on Jerry Maguire, nigga. That nigga was
Right.
They had the headset with the thing at the
Right,
house.
exactly.
Like, they've been gearing us up for this shit for years. They trying to prepare, like, yo, this ain't what's about to go on. It's going on. Nigga.
Straight
like,
up.
It's motherfuckers who got this shit. Y'all just don't got it.
And
Right.
we actually have the opportunity to get in and be. We don't have market share in nothing. We're not the go-to leaders for nothing. My thing was, even if mine's flopped, even if I created some content that was whack, 3 years from now, once everybody know exactly what it is, they're gonna be like, damn, I remember this thing.
Right.
Flip had it first. He
Right.
had the first one that I seen. But like right now, problem. How many blacks own malls? Like an entire strip mall.
Right.
But inside of virtual reality, like, there's a solution. Like, you actually can be the first person. I don't know one yet, but you can be the first person to own a virtual mall where I don't have to go out and buy no physical property. I can recruit stores, online stores, to sell, and now all I have to do is create a 3D environment that looks exactly like a mall, give somebody a headset, and allow y'all to walk through give y'all the same exact experience, which is to what she's saying, like, people...
You're going to live in a world.
People
This
are
is
not
your
going to
world.
go out and go to the physical mall.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, that might be a problem.
But
Since
that's also the thing with online stores.
Opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's online stores, like online stores. Period. Like,
this is
it
where the
exists.
world is going.
It
Great
exists.
idea.
So my thing is, okay, let's take, for instance, because I get what everybody's saying, but let's take, for instance, like Facebook. Facebook started off as something that was just intertwined with just the college, the actual, one college. So then, just for the technology and the ideas that how big it got, it was so big in terms of social interaction. They had to put it on another platform to make it bigger, so they put it in more colleges.
Exactly.
Now, the idea of it in a moral sense is like, no, you're going to get this to a point, because Facebook was started to get laid.
Yeah.
It was about getting laid. It was about interacting with men, interacting with women, women interacting with men, getting laid, period. So they expanded it towards colleges. Now it's about more college students getting laid. So fast forward all the way to now, where it's just this thing where they pretty much communicate about billions of people across the world.
Yep.
But it's given itself the engine to be able to create so much economics for other businesses, especially smaller businesses that's on the come up, to be able to have a presence in any market across the world and to tap into other markets across the world. So
I don't think the question is about being lucrative. Like, the question is not about it being lucrative. It is very lucrative. It's taking the internet and all of the commerce that comes along with the internet. It's moving it right along on pace. My question is about the morality of the situation, where people are not going to leave their homes. They're going to create their own worlds. And then when they are forced to meet reality, they're not going to operate properly.
But you can be afraid of that all you want.
No, but to get back to that,
I just actually believe that's just where the world is going. Like, we can be as
real
of it
quick.
all
I
we
understood
want.
your question. So, because my whole thing was what it did to be lucrative on an economic standpoint, it also became a good thing in terms of people interacting with each other to get some good shit going. Because information now, like, for instance, let's take Black history, true Black history. Back in the days, 60s, 70s, 80s, I'm not going to speak about just a little bit before me. It's only so much Black true history you can actually get about Egypt, about Africa, or whatnot. You know what I mean? Now, because people are in the world, they travel information. It's so much that you're tangible to be able to make your just decision on what is true and what is not. So I get what you're saying morally, but then there's the other avenue that always seems to prevail, and it's the ability to be able to see more and more and to depict your idea of what you feel like is the real shit.
Usefulness always trumps the morality in the end. For example, Uber. When it first came out, you getting in a car with a stranger. You're summoning a stranger who you don't know to come pick you up. That is completely against everything you've been taught.
It took
or
him
whatever.
3.5 years of court just to even
Straight
explore
up.
the concept.
But now
Period.
the usefulness trumps anything that you like.
But
anything
it
that
doesn't
you
trump
question
it that
about
it's become so lucrative that people do not know that the Uber Corporation is in trouble right now for rape. So yeah,
Right.
but
You're
yeah,
right
it's
about that.
very
No,
lucrative.
you're right about
but
that.
it's so lucrative that they're hiding something that is a danger, and it's not a danger for men. It's a danger for women.
But do
Right.
Like, I can't drive. I can't drive myself home. I went out. I had a great time. I'm doing the responsible thing. I'm taking an Uber home, and now I'm in harm's way. And they're not notifying people. They're not making a stipulation that you don't have this in your background, or there's no psychological evaluation for people to sign up. You're absolutely right. Strangers can pick you up, and they're not letting women know that this has become a danger.
Okay,
That's
so
not
now-
good.
No,
That's
no, no,
immoral.
I get that, but
I got
also
one
just
question.
real quick.
Okay, you go
Sorry about
first.
that.
You go.
I get that, but then think about this.
First address what I said, though.
No,
I'll
I
address
get
what you
that. I
said.
get that.
Oh.
No, those things should happen on a corporate level to where they need to change certain rules. I get that, but then also you don't shut down something like Uber because mother of 3 just lost her job in this day and age, trying to figure out what's going on. Got to drop their kids off at work. Got to pick her kids up at 3 o'clock. She has how many hours to do Uber to be able to make how
But look,
much money
but-
to at least in the meantime
But look,
Yes,
but
it's
look,
surpass
but
to a
look,
next
but look,
job?
but look. My thing is this: the world's going to do what's going to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, do I shut down all Catholic churches because some preachers was fucking some kids? Like, if all the preachers
No.
were fucking
Yes!
kids? No, I should not.
No,
You
you
put
don't.
it,
No,
no.
look,
No, you don't.
in the gist
No.
of... and
You changed the gist of
First
it.
of
You
all,
don't
we have to
shut
know...
it down.
First of all, we would have to know the numbers to even have this conversation. Like, you can't...
This
I
is
can't-
what
do I shut
Spotlight
down
is
the whole
about.
Catholic world because we have 20 preachers that did that shit? I don't
Please
know.
watch Spotlight.
I
Please
don't
watch
know. I
Spotlight.
watched Spotlight twice.
Yo,
watched
that
Spotlight.
they kept it a secret. They kept it a
No,
secret
no, no,
that
no,
the
no,
priests
no.
were touching these little
But what
boys.
I'm saying, you're not getting what I'm saying. It's like we're arguing. It's like me. It's like if I sit here and argue with you. No, listen.
Yeah, the premise. Okay, wait, real quickly. Quickly, the premise of the movie
I
is
know
that
that.
Boston kept it a secret that these priests were touching the boys. All they were doing with the priests was relocating them to different places. And it's a public record how many times these priests are being relocated, and they're just making
the
it like they were
conversation-
sick.
so the
And nobody in Boston
because
was
the-
saying anything.
Because the conversation is above your pay grade.
Okay, and my only
This is wait, real quick.
Oh,
Real quick.
no, you got
Listen.
it.
This conversation is this right now, right? If we can sit here and argue white supremacy all day long, right?
Yeah, I
But
guess.
we can literally argue forever. Why? Because you and I are in control of that.
Yeah.
Do you, first of all, if we talk about, I use the Catholic Church for an example.
It's a perfect example. I
It's a
get
perfect
it.
example,
And it
but-
proves my point about
but-
us, about we. If we get it into our hands and we do the right thing as a people and elevate ourselves, that's perfect. Let's do it. But if we get it into our hands or let them put it into our lives and then they control us with something else, and that is a problem.
But what I'm saying is, that's what he's saying. That's what he said
Yeah,
at the
we
beginning.
on the same
Yeah.
page,
No, I got that. I got
but
that. So what I'm saying is,
That's my morality point.
No, and-
but see, even with now, okay, even with morality, so that's subjective, because it's what the individual is rolling with.
Morality-
So if I
That's always been subjective. Morality is always
So
subjective.
it's like,
Always.
What I'm saying is this.
it-
Since we can't, if we can't just control anything, some things are just out of our pay grade. I brought the Catholic Church to talk about the priests and like that. Well, should we shut it down? But shut down what? When the Vatican runs the whole shit.
Yeah.
Who's going to shut that down? You
Yeah.
can't. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Well,
it's
that-
just going to go on.
And my only thing,
But that stance, I gotta say something about that stance, man. Just because you right. First of all, what you're saying is right.
Is it fucked up? Yes.
But
That's
here's
what
the
I'm
thing.
talking
And is it fucked up? Yes. And is there responsibilities? Yes. My point is this: certain, like you got like
it's subjective.
you got high maintenance morality, right? Now let me say. No, it is. Let me make my point in saying that. If your morality is going to be so high, your action got to be somewhere in the equivalent. You're going to have to dedicate a part of your life strictly to that. So as long, all right. So I'm just saying, right? Because you're passionate about this, right? Okay. Is there anything that can be done about it?
Yes.
what can be done? We can share this mic.
Cause so far you said shut shit down.
The only one in the room doing something about it is him.
So far you
That's
said
my
shut
The
point.
only one in the room doing something about it is him.
And because you know what? He has a high maintenance passion.
Right.
Right.
For you to have that type of passion, you can't help it. It requires you put in a certain amount of time with it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, high maintenance. So when you got somebody like I've dated type of girls who were like, I'm a tree hugger or I'm a bitch or whatever their thing is on the spectrum, right? What they passionate about being. A crip, right?
Right.
You're right. I'll be online watching It's a Crip on and the pretty hoe on IG.
She is hilarious.
I'm
She is
sorry,
hilarious.
I do. So, but that type of passion for something, you got to be blued out every day, tatted on your face every day, about it every day, smoking some X amount of blunts. There's so many ways to get active about what you're passionate about that if you that passionate, either you got to switch careers or you got to see the bigger picture of while we all doing what we are more passionate about, technology and the people passionate about that got to push that forward,
Because
and we got to get our programs just got to be better.
Because the hand swings back. What happens is
I'm so happy you have a plan. We're gonna get that plan in motion. You got a plan.
but what
I
happens
see you
is-
got a plan,
but
but
what
I'm
happens
I'm waiting for you. So take the step.
No, but what happens is
When we
what
take a
happens is
step.
the fingers get the pointing back. What happens-
This is,
so look,
but
put it
this
like
is what happened with Obama, and this is why black people try to be
Obama?
mad at Obama.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, I mean, yes, I can. Of course, I can segue. Of course, I can segue. Because let me tell you why. He was unable to do so much of the things that he wanted to do because he had to be the leader of the free people, not just
that
black
what you
people.
think?
What is that, free people?
Real quick, you about to get
He
schooled. Is that what you think?
absolutely.
Hold on. Let me ask her the question about
not
Uber.
fair.
Like when you said Uber and the ladies being raped, that is a tragedy. And my only question to you, after
many?
that statement would be not how many. I do identify as a problem. Do you think this world will go forward or another day will exist without Uber going forward in the future?
I think that, first of all, let me say that I do not think that Uber should be shut down. My problem is that, one second, whoa, what about?
All these questions.
First of all, let me say that I do not think Uber should be shut down. My qualms with Uber are that they are not notifying the people on a grand scale that these things have happened. So you can make the conscious decision to put your life in danger.
Okay. Now my whole thing and my thing with that would be the people that you're talking about who are responsible for covering that information up are the same people who price pointed the virtual reality headset at $700 to maximize their profits and everything.
There's somebody who just went to prison for maximizing the price of the cure for AIDS.
Yes.
And that motherfucker is
and that's what I'm
behind
saying.
bars.
That is the importance of somebody getting in the industry and disrupting the industry and saying, hey, that technology don't cost $700. You want to experience that technology? $65. Those would be the same people that created an Uber that would disclose information about or that would require their drivers to provide information. The problem is that not enough of us get into industries
Right.
that allow us to disrupt.
Or be decision making.
Yeah, exactly. Or the
Right.
industry gets so big that the cost of entry. I got in at VR while it was young. While the train is still getting like bigger. But wait 2 years, wait 3 years. The cost of entry just to enter VR, just to even say you're creating something for VR would be so much higher, which would allow those same people to be in control, which would allow those same people to make the decisions, and you would leave those same people in charge of when it comes to morality.
Right.
Are you going to shut down or are you not?
Absolutely.
The dude that
The
created
information has to be
Flappy
available,
Birds or
though.
one of those apps, he recognized that the app, he was a Japanese dude, he recognized that the app was so addictive that he shut it down, that he was making at least $200,000 a day or whatever off of the app, but since it was so addictive to people, he shut it down. If you don't have people like that are willing to get in the
I 100%
industry,
agree. I'm brilliant. I
Then
can
we-
do another brilliant thing. If you see that things are happening that are
Absolutely.
negatively impacting society, you do have to put the kibosh on it. Like, this is not.
But you can't. Not with
Okay.
everything. The reason
Yeah,
why I
you
say
can't
not with
kibosh it.
everything. But
But
You
you
might
have
have
to
to
give the
shape it.
information for a game.
might
This
have to shape
game
it.
doesn't make you good at anything. So shutting it down, it's not going to make or break anything unless you've.
you can't.
People are piggybacking on somebody else's scenario after it comes to investments. So if you've invested all this money in Angry Birds and he decides to shut it down and you lose money, you lost money on somebody else's scenario. They have the power to do so, and you can't be held responsible for that. That's not your original
but
idea.
what I'm saying
What
is-
I'm saying about Uber is they're not giving us the information. The numbers had to come into the teens for them to say, okay, we need to tell people that this is happening. And I don't think that's fair. I want to be given the conscious decision to put my life in danger and not the other way around, because it's not
Do you
And
Uber?
all of
that's
that-
going to come.
and
Yeah,
all of
I
that-
Uber.
You Uber, and you have the information.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be able to make that decision.
All
Okay.
of that is dependent
So what-
on who sits on the board of directors
So,
for
what-
Uber.
here-
Nobody that absolutely probably cares. They care about
Human
the money
beings
that
do.
get into their pocket.
But even if they did,
They,
care-
I don't know if they
but-
humans
but listen-
or like have
no,
a conscience.
let's say
Like
this-
you got some people up there that actually don't give a damn about how many girls
But here-
get
but-
raped.
And you
as long
develop
wait,
a
wait.
conscience with human
No.
interaction, and
But
you
you
live in a
gotta-
virtual reality world, and you stop developing a conscience. You don't think the things that you're doing are wrong.
You gotta
No,
Let-
no, 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 no,
Let me-
no, no,
let me-
no, 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 no.
let me interrupt you guys for 1 second.
You
just
got it. You
because
got it. I'm not even talking.
We measuring it. I just want to make sure I at least introduce the thought of like measuring business decisions on how people make business decisions, right?
Yeah.
So one thing, when you might be measuring a person's like morality and saying like, well, are they stopping this because people are getting raped? Let's say Uber, for example, right? If I'm the head of Uber and I've got to that point by how you get to that point, which is being educated a certain way and having certain experiences, right? You get there and you still care. No, I don't think anybody wants women to get raped as a major thing of their brand, even if you just want your brand to survive, right?
Straight up.
Like that we in a society that won't fly, right? So how you make your decisions, even as a caring person, is based on the data you get, not your experiences talking to everybody or reading the news, right? That's responsive, right? If you got to look at your data over a period of time, right? So first thing you're going to look at is how often is that happening, and how often am I putting food in the homes of these single parents,
That's what
or
I'm
how much these
saying.
other things, right?
That's
so
what I'm saying.
That's one part of
It's
it.
a numbers game.
But wait, that's one part of it. So taking the numbers into consideration, right? No, I mean taking the fact that people make their decisions at that level off of data, right?
Yep. Analytics.
The only way you can affect it is that you know all this and you don't Uber. Because your Uber is a vote for them to do it the way they do it.
Yep. You can.
I lift.
I left.
Okay. And Lyft don't get people getting raped. Because you get to leave tips.
Yeah, Lyft is clean.
Because you can lift. Because you can
Lyft is
lift
clean.
Because you can give
They
tips.
never had rape cases with Lyft.
Yeah. So I'm saying like,
Is that true?
No, there's no rape cases for Lyft. Shout out to Lyft.
Is that true though?
Is
How
it
you know
true?
they're not covering it up? Like who?
I mean, is that true?
did she just shout him out and
Right. I'm like,
Why are you guys being so
pink, that
negative?
pink logo gets you far. I think the pink mustache may make it.
Okay. What's up?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, let's Google it.
I don't think
the
anybody
most-
who drives something with
Shout
a
out
pink
to Lyft
mustache
for not
is raping
raping.
Yeah.
anybody.
I think the most
that's just an
important
Uber thing?
thing. Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Uber rape.
What?
'Cause
That's
they're
terrible.
I think the most
Uber's the
important
Donald Trump
thing.
of car rides.
I think the most important thing
you
with
still wrong?
technology and with progressing technology, all technology, even when he brought up nuclear bombs. Nuclear energy is one of the most efficient energy forms ever. The fact that you can pack that much energy into something this small, that's better than all the Hoover Dam where you're using all of that water to generate electricity. That is the twofold of everything. That is
Until
the
you get
twofold
too much of that
tech-
nuclear energy, and then you grow another
No,
nose.
it is
out of
all
your
about the
fucking
user.
cheek.
It is all about the person that decides, or who you let
What?
decide to touch nuclear energy, who you let decide who to touch virtual reality, and ultimately, as a consumer, whose virtual reality you're going to use, whose nuclear energy you're going to use, or
And-
however you do
You-
it.
And
Do
from a
date dope-
morality
do you
standpoint,
date
how they
dope dealers?
tested that nuclear energy is on people,
Would
and
you-
they
would
were
you date a
fucking
dope
those
dealer?
people up.
And Uber and Lyft both have major rape cases, and all the numbers are unlisted. They're all over 170 and all under 6,000. Uber and Lyft.
Oh, he just went Google.
Second article right here.
Google.
I just read one on Slate. There's another, right? My bad. I'm getting off course, but
Don't make that face.
you got to use something. Uber and Lyft. You go back to real taxes and really deal with some shit.
Well, that's
Yo,
the.
I just dealt with the worst experience on Saturday. I had to go. Oh my god!
Wait, and where was this experience?
In Santa Monica. Oh my god!
Well, no, what were you doing?
Look, here. No, you know what?
Your
Now this is
experience
a
with what?
perfect example. Look.
Of
I
what?
was listen.
Of
So
what?
I'm leaving the club or whatever, and I get an Uber, and then
You
you
get
know
a
you're
what?
oh fuck.
get a what?
I get an
You
Uber.
get what?
I get an Uber, and I'm leaving the place that I'm going, and they cancel the ride while I'm waiting for it. They just up and cancel it, and I'm just like, see, that's
They
why I don't
figured
fuck
you
with
out.
Uber. That's exactly what I said. As soon as they cancel, I said, you know what? See, that's why I don't fuck with Uber.
And next time I
Boom.
get on Luc's show,
So,
I'm gonna
boom.
show them.
I'm gonna show
Right. So then
And here we
I
have
see
it.
a cab on the street and they have his light on. Now I lived in New York for 4.5 years, and if the cab has his light on at the top, you can hop in the shit. It's vacant.
Right.
So I hop in, and he's just like, cab, and I was like, yeah. He's like, cab. I'm like, yeah. And so I'm giving him the address, giving him the address. He's like, you need a cab? I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now, but you're dog.
I don't need one.
Do you know this motherfucker was an independent contractor, and he was working for another company, and the name of the thing was Curb. He was saying Curb or some shit like that. And he was trying to get me to get out of the cab because he was independently contracted. I'm like, no, sir. You have a fucking Los Angeles taxi cab sign. The cab light is on. You either take me home, or I guess we're going to be calling the fucking police.
You go to your house after all this?
Dog,
This is
I
why
was
she prefers
tired
Uber.
Of, no,
This is why she prefers Uber. Hilarious.
God forbid I'm ever in any situation. God forbid I'm ever in a situation where I have to shit on myself, because I feel like that's the only defense I have against rape, is to just instantly shit on myself. And if you are that nigga, you gonna rape me in front of my shit?
Don't let him be that kind of fetish.
You gonna rape?
Oh my God,
them
rape,
all.
You gonna
rape,
rape me in
rape.
front of my shit?
You know that's what you gonna rape me in front of my son?
Well, I actually don't blame. I don't think that's the technology's fault. That's to be honest, like that's actually like just human nature. That's just you. If you in the dark alley with a dude, like technology
Okay.
didn't put you there, but that man can rape
Now,
you.
Parker, now what he just said, right? So even with the beginning morality issue with versus reality,
I gotta
So
stick a
it's-
pin in this statement.
it's kind of coming around. It's looking like what he just said, as far as that's a human nature issue.
Come
Like
on,
humans
give it
are
to me.
fucked up.
Give it
Right?
to me. Come on,
So-
give it to
You're
me.
talking to an avid Uberer about whether Uber should be shut down.
Look,
Yeah, people fucked up.
I wish your motherfucker would. And
People
no,
fucked up.
knock on wood. I wish your motherfucker would pull the cab over and be. I didn't already lace my keys into my knuckles. Like, dog, I'm getting ready to leave these keys in your cheek if you fucking come back here on
try
some
it.
bullshit.
I hate to
I'm
say it,
about
but if he
leave
chooses
these
to, he
keys
ready
in
for
your
that.
cheek.
Oh,
Dog.
yo, key in the...
Dog, no.
It ain't no rookie rapist fucking with you. If somebody trying to rape you, they're a veteran.
And just
He know
just
all the
let's
risks.
not
He
even
got
say.
the Mayweather.
Rape is not funny. Rape is not funny at all. It's not a joke. We live in a rape culture, and the fact that I even have to think about shitting on myself to save my
She
life.
made 9 rape jokes, and then when mine
That's what I'm
came,
saying. I try to, but you know, I
Avid
wanted to
Uberer.
say that because it's not a
avid
joke.
Uberer.
It's not a joke.
Okay, look, let's get back to the VR shit.
Right.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
She wants to know the difference between VR
for
and
real.
augmented reality.
How it goes to the technology.
You explained it earlier, okay.
How it goes to the technology is when you get the dude that is the avid rapist that wants to be the best rapist, when he creates a rape virtual reality scenario where he can hunt women,
It's called
then what do you
Tinder.
do? Now
And
then
you're
you
on
have
it.
all the people that
Yeah, that place is called Tinder. Soul Swipe.
It's called
Tinder. Bro.
You know. When I said that, your profile picture went right in your mind. So yeah, he has a
Ooh,
place
no, it
now.
never did. I don't do Tinder.
And
Hand to God, I never signed up for it
Every-
because it freaked me out. Like,
Tinder and Soul Swipe.
And what?
Right,
No
exactly.
dating sites. No dating sites. Okay, I did sign up for one.
Which one?
It was called OkCupid.
ChristianLegal.com?
It was called OkCupid. I was living in New York City, and
You was looking for a white man.
You was looking
That's what I'm looking for, a white man or an Italian because she seems spicy.
let me just say.
It's your sister.
Let me just say.
Excuse me, porcelain Jesus.
It got bad. First of all, I was on it for 3 days. I was on it for 3 days, and not 3 like 9, 3 like 3. 3 days. This dude was messaging me.
72 hours.
This dude was messaging me, and I was like, I was good on his message, so I didn't respond. Then he messaged me again. Didn't respond. Then he messaged me again. I was like, okay, I just want to let you know that I'm not interested, so you don't keep like messaging me. I'm good. Thank you for the compliments and everything, but I'm cool. This dude
They only allow you to
sent me a
message
last
when y'all
message.
liked each other. But
His
go ahead.
last message was, I see you at your job trying to act like you're better than everybody and all the shit in the message. And I was just like, and then at that point you're looking around like, oh shit, like who is it? I was paranoid as fuck. I was so scared.
So you still have you
That's
still have an account?
Right.
that's huge. Once again, human
Human nature.
nature. That's
not
not the
VR's fault.
technology's fault. Or yeah, dating apps should not exist.
So we shouldn't
But
we
if
shouldn't create anything.
exactly, or that could potentially
played hard
cause
to get and
harm
changed her
or
mind.
allow people to express their human nature outside of personal
Just
interaction.
play hard to get on
Right.
the internet. It got shook.
Right.
What do you do? Where were you running around to?
Or
He didn't spell
if you
something
know
right.
a dating app that you can actually address your concerns to, and they'll take them seriously. Your problem is like, okay, Cupid probably won't listen to your 1 in a million story from them, but
See, if you
No,
got
I-
the VR,
no, I
if you got
emailed
the VR
them.
like
If
he
you-
was telling you,
or if
the
you
dude
knew
can give you a
somebody-
walk around his apartment and stop
Get
selling
out.
you in that good corner of his house. You can say, "Oh, wait, let's look in there. Is that a bitch clothes
or
in the
if
closet?"
you knew the owner
Let's go
of
see your kitchen.
yeah, if you knew the owner of the app, you could maybe address him. Hey, I'm having some concerns about like some stuff that I experienced
that
on
I
your
like to mess me
platform.
back.
Yeah.
Exactly. The problem is like you probably only got people that don't really care about what people like you think about their technology or their app or how they're shaping.
And like you said, so you say like with a guy, okay, with virtual reality, somebody can create a rape something room or something like that, whatever. But people created porn and then somebody made child porn. Somebody was going to always go the extra disgusting fucking mile to do some shit, and that's just human nature.
Right.
It's like when people say guns don't kill people, people kill
People, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same
Do you
shit.
feel like the sentencing for child porn should be longer? Do you feel like it should be? Do you feel like it should be
I think it'd be
not
death.
treated as
Life.
a
I
psychological?
think it'd
Okay,
be death. I
so
think it'd be death.
how do you feel
Are you
about?
gonna make this connect back to technology?
I'm gonna. Of course, I am.
I would love to hear it. Okay, okay, go.
They come with a new R. Kelly program or something. R. Kelly Reasons.
VR Kelly.
Yeah.
VR Kelly.
P be coming from everywhere.
P all over. P everywhere.
Oh my god.
P comes everywhere.
I wasn't even gonna say anything about R. Kelly,
gotta wear it
but
in the shower.
that's a point. It's
You
not a
gotta wear
point.
the VR Kelly.
I was gonna say that child pornography has a market on the internet.
Absolutely.
It's got a huge market on the
Do
internet.
we
But
shut down the internet?
how do you shut down child pornography on the internet though? There has to be a way.
No, the only thing you would be able to do to shut down child pornography is to physically go find the child pornographers.
Yeah.
Like, but that has nothing to do with the technology that allowed them to. Yeah.
And real talk,
It's not somebody monitoring.
technology
You
and
don't
filters
not
is the only
create
thing
tools.
saving us from seeing that.
Or power tools. You don't not create power tools because somebody can hit somebody up side the head with it or jam a drill through somebody's eye. Like, I need to drill nails into this wood to put shit together.
But see,
But if
that's what
somebody does that, they're gonna get a high sentence, which was my question.
Oh, yeah. Anybody that misuses
The
Okay,
sentencing-
let
should
me
go
say
to
this.
jail.
Let me say this. You could every rape case from now on to ever they can put 1,000 years. No, fuck it. For sure, death penalty. If rape comes up, if you go to jail for rape, you get arrested for rape. Let's put this new law where it's for sure death penalty inside a week. If you get caught, death penalty.
it's proven.
Rape is not going to stop.
No, it's not.
Even with that law,
He
rape
said
is not going to stop.
Death penalty
Inside a week.
within a week. You know
It's
how many
still not
falsely
gonna stop.
accused motherfuckers go to jail?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, that's not a good.
My bad.
That just
My
happened.
bad to the families of the James families, the Reginalds. Like, they be having to give out so many apologies. Like,
I'm saying.
On Facebook. Did you hear that one about the girl who sent the message on Facebook? Like, I'm sorry, it didn't really happen. He lost his scholarship, went to jail, been in jail the whole time.
Yeah, I remember
messaged
that.
him on Facebook and said she was sorry for lying, and that's how he got out of jail. So shout out to technology, shout out to Facebook.
Oh, so
I
technology
mean,
wins.
but that's
That
what I'm
got
saying.
somebody out.
But
But
like
see,
I
that's
said,
the
growing
thing.
into it as well, because I remember when, like, porn was first on your phone line, right? Porn, if you went into porn, all the porn will pop up. Right? All the shit you know you don't have no business looking at, when you first went on to porn sites, it'll just start being like boom, 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 boom. And that's where a lot of discovery and people getting to the wrong shit probably came about too. But then now, you go on to some porn shit, and it's shit that it's filtering out that. It's zapping that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not allowing
Well, mine's a set
fucking...
anyway.
Yeah, your favorites.
That's... It's set. See? Technology.
Technology.
Yes, you said it.
See? Using my thing.
That's fine. Is yours set?
My what?
Your
Your
porn.
porn situation.
No, I have a fantastic imagination. I'm
You
not
are
really that great on
lying.
porn.
Technology, where does technology intertwine with your porn life?
I'm gonna be honest and say that I don't need to watch. I don't need to watch it.
Do you watch porn?
I don't need to. I don't watch it by myself.
Already.
Oh
That's
no
what we're
shit.
saying.
And yeah, the industry.
Okay, we saying by yourself.
And I would be-
That's
But
for
it
you.
wouldn't be. It
That
wouldn't
would
be
for you.
porn. It wouldn't be porn. It would be like a real life situation. Like
It'd be like Total Recall.
I would be on a fucking virtual reality date. I need to get sauced
What if
up.
you- what if-
That's just
what
the
if
kind
you
of
can-
girl I
what if you
am.
can go Inside of virtual reality, then record it, and then send that image video world to another headset.
Could you bring it up again though?
Not for that.
But kids, listen, not for that actual thing, but.
Jessica, you guys didn't see it. You guys didn't see it, but he put a pin in that idea. Like, what if you
Right.
save your
Not-
sex? You trying to get him on some side shit. All right, so I don't want to be involved in that. But
Nah.
look,
But look, man, back to this technology though. I mean,
we're talking about
I
it.
just,
but we
I just want
went-
to say,
we going far with the morality.
right,
Yeah.
It's cool.
you guys are horrible creators, okay, except for my man Flip.
What the bomb ass idea?
He came and mentioned virtual reality, and you immediately jumped into rape and porn,
Obesity,
obesity.
First of all,
isolation.
that
You guys
was
are horrible,
nuts.
okay?
That was
Fucking
not.
cancer rate
That was
going
not
up.
the first thing I said. The first thing I said was that if this takes off, I'm going to invest in someone walking around with me so
Told you
I
I said
can.
that. That's not the first thing you said.
He said you talking.
First thing you said was
That's like the ninth
rape.
thing you said. That's like
The lies you
like the first
tell.
thing you said.
But you know what? Because of technology,
You basically said-
this is on the internet,
You basically-
and we see
You
that.
basically said technology is the devil. As soon as you start talking,
I did because I'm scared about what's going on in the world. But
my man
I
thought we set him
also.
up.
Actually texting over.
We brought in the pretty girl
Yeah.
to hold you to death. This is the
I
devil.
knew somebody was going to come.
Man,
But look, I
ahead.
I try to use my platform.
yeah, right. I want to
I
get
want to talk
into
about
that.
this. I want to talk about Fliptendo.
Right.
First of all, this is ill as fuck, right? Because I remember the Google shit. So I remember I got introduced to these guys in Santa Monica was starting this little new thing they were doing with this technology, and so I had the Samsung shit, headphones, and the Google shit, and it just tripped me out. And they had the
Right.
it might have been the what's the other shit you saw? The Ox, what's it called? The Facebook
Oculus.
part? That's the one where you put the glass on, standing that fucking with the thing.
Yeah,
on the
and
wall.
it's connected to a machine.
So that
Yeah.
I got Oculus on my phone now.
Right.
That's what I use mine to.
okay, because I was in the big one, the one you put.
Well, they have
the sensors.
Oculus. When you plug Samsung has a deal with Oculus. So when you plug your Samsung in, it directly goes to Oculus. That's
Okay.
what I was talking about.
Not
But
that.
Oculus is a standalone machine that
Right,
they
that's
came
how
out
was
with.
that machine was the
Exactly.
one I was
That
with
hooks
the sensors
you.
on the wall and all
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
So,
And you got the two remotes.
yeah, all that shit. So I did all
Sports
that,
and yeah.
and it fucked me up, right? I was like, this shit is the illest shit ever, right? I was just like, I'm talking all the shit, right?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the Samsung thing first, and I was at the concert, and peep behind me. Oh shit, a girl right here.
Uh-huh.
It was the most amazing shit, right? So, like having all that. Fast forward to when I seen you post about this.
Yeah.
I thought it was the illest shit. The fact that you did that, and I'm like, how'd you do that? Like, it wasn't like,
Just watch it.
okay, like if I had headphones and then I just started like, I mean, if I had that, I was like, okay, how do I create this? I wouldn't know where to go about to do that.
Yeah.
So, what's your background on that? Well, there's two shows going on actually because Parker and Baju have a show going on the side without the mics. On my show, which is the illest shit ever. This technology hasn't even been invented yet.
You mean to tell me at the cookout everybody talking about the same thing? I think not.
This is crazy.
I brought the morality of this situation, and then when you guys start talking, I said, well, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but all right, Oculus. I looked at him and said, I can't spell Oculus.
Nah, it
But let me get into it.
All right.
Stop talking to me, dang. You know,
How
you just,
Those kids shit up.
sorry, man. Damn, stop talking. It's not even me, it's him.
That's also a misconception that I do want people to understand. When people sit up, most people think like, I'm just
they kinda kill their own idea.
Exactly. Or that since that's super hard, like I don't got a background, I don't got an education in it, like I can't create a video
I
game.
agree with that.
Like, no, they got these programmers that program stuff for you could download a program. You might pay $200 for it, but now they've done all the coding for you, and all you got to do is drag and drop. You can create your own
illustrations
apps.
and
Can
everything.
you give me some of those links? Do you know some of those links offhand?
BuildBox right now. Android BuildBox is one. You can create an app in 5 minutes. He did it in 5 minutes.
Right.
But you, right now, it might cost you $100 a month to download the app, but everything is drag and drop. Your backgrounds, you can create Flappy Birds, any of those type of apps. But just in your mind, without that knowledge, you don't believe that it can actually happen.
Right.
You can actually create it.
BuildBox, BUILD.
There you go.
BOX.
There we go.
.com.
Yeah, you can build that box.
Yep. But yeah, it's powered by Google,
like everybody got it.
And it's just a software that
Shout
allows
out to the box.
Shout out to the box. Definitely. I've been shouting out the box for years. But I'm glad somebody created
So
it.
where
Shout out to the
like
box.
previously,
Y'all crazy.
I'm sorry, man.
They're terrible. Go ahead, Flip.
Every time you keep pulling me back in. Every time
now previously
No, I
when you
didn't.
design like an app, for instance, if you was Flappy Birds, that's that thing that just go in
Right.
and bounce. When you hit something, you die. Previously, you would have to code that in like,
Right.
you know, this is an enemy, and you would have to know the language.
Okay.
Now, coders have gotten so good that they create templates and packages and everything,
okay.
where it's pre-packaged, where now this is just drag and drop. I drop a dude right here. I label this inside of the little box. This is an enemy. That automatically means when this hits this, you dead.
right,
or
right,
you
right.
it just have different options for you to do, and they've made stuff super user friendly. That's so far as the softwares and stuff like that.
And then also realizing, like, you know, a lot of course, developers, they understand that once you actually code something and then you publish it, you can't trademark or copyright code. So once it's out there, they can just take your code and replicate it and do whatever they want. You can use the same code as the basis of making a bunch of the same game, just with different illustrations and stuff
That's
like
why-
that.
I
So
was
that's why
wondering
and now
that's why they give
programmers
you
have-
templates for it.
And now
Yeah.
it's been made lucrative through these platforms.
Right.
Like it's a platform called Unity. I can create my own VR app right now.
Right.
I just don't got the time to physically
Right.
sit down and do it, and it
Right.
would take time to just learn the software. But in a month, if I took off work and just sat down for a month,
Right.
I would be able to create my own car game in VR where I'm riding through
Word.
just like a Need for Speed or whatever. What they do is these developers now create templates and on these platforms. The platform allows you to sell your
Right.
your bunched up code
Right.
that you've created for $3, for $5, for
word.
$40, and now everybody needs this
That same code.
sort of like a body. Like, you know, when you
Right.
create any character,
million
you need
people-
a body that interacts with stuff. So 1 million people
At-
download
at-
your
at $10.
body, yeah, to start their
Think about
app.
that.
Now you got
I know
$10
how
million.
Rob talks every 10 seconds though, after you're saying something.
No, he on
Like,
point though.
you're doing like a Like, say if you did like a 30-second thing, to hit every 5 seconds. Oh, right, and then right.
I'm sorry.
And then with the, you know.
I love technology,
You do it
so I'm
yourself.
stoked.
Look, you do it right now.
I'm stoked. When he's speaking, I'm just like, yo, I'm tripping out. Like,
Nah,
do this
and
L.
that's
Sorry
real.
about that.
You're
You're right. Sorry.
And that's real. So they create these different packages that allow them to get lucrative. But on the flip side, it allows you the opportunity to now,
create.
I can get in on this thing. And that's what that's also what I want to show people is that, yeah, just because you think is difficult just in your mind. When you think most people, when they got a bunch of app ideas, man, it'll be tight if I had an app thing like this. Like, bro, go on Upwork, and it's a bunch of freelance dudes. And if you got an idea that you actually didn't thought out, put that idea there and list a budget. I got $800 maximum that I spend on this app. Within hours, people will respond to you, and they'll respond with their portfolios. I've created apps like this. I've created apps like this.
Right.
Like, I can do that for you, or they'll give you a price. Nah, that's gonna cost $1,300.
Okay.
That's gonna cost
But you can
$1,200.
start
That's
to get something.
and that's if you don't know how to do no coding at all. If you just want to outsource it to somebody, but then yes, you can go inside of the softwares where it's like, dang, dude, that made it super easy for me. I can download this package with this package and this package. Now I got 3 packages, and all I got to do is learn how to combine them together to create my own. And yeah, YouTube is the best fucking thing in I call it the University of YouTube. You can learn anything. You don't got to go to college or take them college classes to learn that shit. It's somebody just as talented as your professor or would-be professor on YouTube that's making money, because he's making money too.
Right.
Off of these, these millions of people. Anybody that want to create an app, I know they gonna watch my video first. If anybody want to learn how to write Python code, like, I know they're going to watch my video first. Why would I go work for a university where I'm on salary and I got to spend all my time there when I can create something here? And it just make it super easy.
Do you know of any
for
good
us.
app developer sites?
You can buy app source code. I remember when I first got into it, I went to, it's called Flippy or something like that. But you can just buy a pre-made app already. You can buy dudes that I bought my first 3 apps for $60, $90, $60.
Invest
and they
in
were
yourself.
simple, and they were simple little apps. But I knew after I bought the app, I went to another website and I downloaded different graphics. And then I went to Upwork, which was the site with the freelance, and I was like, look, I bought source code for an app.
And you got illustrations. You got some real good illustrations.
Can you switch it out for me?
Yeah.
Can you? And dude was like, I could do that for $90. And there was a dude in India.
Right.
Whereas in India, rupees, I mean,
Hey,
my
right,
$100 go a long way in India. Whereas if I would have tried to find somebody over here, it's gonna cost me $400, $500, $600 over here. I can shoot him $90, and we just gotta communicate through Skype technology. Like, if that's not there, like, I don't got access across the world to this guy to get him to work on my thing. So it just take a little knowledge. You got to do a little research with everything. The VR headset, it wasn't hard for me to find. I didn't use my degree or nothing that I learned to get that made. I had an idea, and I presented my idea to somebody that I knew had the means to do it. Y'all manufacture electronics. Y'all already doing a sort of like a VR headset. So if I can just communicate my idea to you, then surely you can, accommodate me or tell me like, no, we can't do that, or show me like, where I can get it done. So,
well, the one thing about manufacturing, of course, clothes, but even in electronics, the thing about it is we look at manufacturing like completely different from what it really is. These companies, these quote unquote, there's a bootleg manufacturing company. No, they're a manufacturing company.
Yep.
You pay for the cost of putting these things together. Depending on your budget of what you want is depending on the value of the quality. So when you're into, building, VR machines, any type of gaming system and stuff like that, these same companies that will undercut for these smaller electronics are still the same companies who a lot of these major companies outsource to.
But the average person,
they're going
manufacturing
in.
is tedious.
They're producing. First of all manufacturing, if you know anything about China, all manufacturing companies are set up with certain equipment.
Right.
So we're equipped. We don't make headphones here. That manufacturing
Does.
company make
And they're
headphones
fully equipped.
So like And with manufacturing, we just want to keep our machines working. We don't
Right.
care if we got an order for 1 million pieces,
Right.
100,000 pieces. Oh, you need 50?
Right.
Oh, you need 100? You need
Right.
200? We can make that for you. We can schedule that into our thing. So their whole thing is, as long as we have the machinery, we already have the machinery. We're equipped to make it. So as long as you can meet what they would call MOQ, which is the minimum order quantity, you got to order
Right.
this many. Just like when you used to go downtown, niggas want to, I'm going to get the hats for wholesale.
Right.
I just knew it from back in those kind of days. Like, it's the same exact thing. We're equipped to make New Era replica hats. Like, you know, we might even be the manufacturer that do it for New Era.
Right.
But on the back end, like, yeah, we'll do this for you.
Yeah.
We'll make it for you. So that was the thing with the
Right.
with the virtual reality headsets. Y'all already making them for somebody in India. Y'all already making them for a different market or somebody that's in South Africa. Hey man, I need mine in the USA.
If you had a couple of extra dollars, if you trying to make a mass quantity of Jordans, you can get the Jordan how it's supposed to be with the same everything. You can get it how you want. If you had the money to do that, aside from stipulations, contractual
Copyrighted,
stipulations
right, yeah.
of
And
copyright
trademark.
that you can't get it 100% exactly like
Right,
it.
that's why
That's
your
why
Jordan look-
materials change. That's why
your Jordan look like they got a
Yeah.
ballerina on it.
right. But if
I'm
you,
not even talking about Jordans. I'm talking about
Right.
these bags. All these
Right.
these girls walk around
Right.
with these 10,000. That bitch. Come
right,
here.
but I'm
here.
but in a
What?
count,
That
Let
zipper.
me see.
but in a counterfeit sense, that's one element because that's one thing. But for you becoming someone who wants to create quality product, these are the same companies who are creating the quality product and creating the quote unquote counterfeit. So
But to
you
take
coming
it
out
a
with some
step
new shit.
further, why create a counterfeit?
You
If you're in
create your
touch with
own.
the manufacturer, create your own.
Right.
They're fully made to create their own. The reason you buying counterfeit purses
'Cause
is
you don't
because
have
it's
an
a
idea.
demand for the brand. Exactly.
Right.
You want
Right.
to sell Louis Vuitton. You're in touch with the manufacturer that can make a purse. Like, make your own brand and now
Right,
have
right,
your
right,
own.
right.
And that's my whole message. Even with the VRs, I'm making an Android box right now that come pre-installed with the Kodi and everything.
Right.
Yeah, there's plenty of Android boxes, but now you get to support a black man that makes his own
Right.
thing.
Damn
And-
right.
and
Come
that's-
on.
Yeah, and that's everything to be able to just, don't waste your time trying to sell their brand or do stuff with their brand. Make your own brand, and that's important when it comes to stuff like market share. Market share means if there's a million VR headsets that's in circulation, that means Oculus has sold this many. Like altogether, there's 1 million sold. If Oculus says we have a 70% market share, that means 700,000 headsets that were sold out of those million, those were Oculus.
Right.
Black people currently don't have a market share in any industry.
Right.
Like, we don't have
Which is sick.
a piece of pie in, even though we're the biggest influence in certain industries, music, clothing,
In
just
all.
trendy. Yeah.
In all industries.
Exactly, but no market share,
Right, which
no
is ridiculous.
support from, and that's partly because when y'all niggas get money, like, you'll spend 35 racks in, Neiman Marcus to get somebody else's brand that they've created instead of creating your own brand and attacking their market share,
Right.
actually attacking what they've created. So that's anything. If you see an idea, if you got something, and especially if you think you can make it better, go after their market share. Go
Right.
and try and create something and then offer it to your people and not try and just influence them to buy somebody else's stuff and
Right.
tell them, hey, give me a cut. Hey, if I tell
Right,
them to
right,
buy
right.
your thing, that's what they call affiliate sales is. That's all these YouTubers. They make money from recommending other people. Go click the link in my bio,
Right,
buy
right,
it,
right.
da-da-da, and
Right.
they give me a piece of pie. If you got this many people watching your damn show, like, and you getting bread,
Right.
at some point you should be able to make
So,
your own shit and sell
Basically,
it.
if you got 1 million followers, why are you selling flat tummy tea?
But you have to have an idea. See, that's the problem.
Well,
you
that-
know,
No,
so
you
everybody
don't.
that knows how to
Take
make
somebody
money.
else's idea. Just attack somebody's market share. Go examine.
Oh, okay, I
can
see what you're
sell
saying.
this.
Right.
I'm in the market for this. I had a VR headset instead of trying to tell people, oh man, y'all should go get the Google Cardboard.
It's like
or
why
y'all should do this.
It's like why look at why sell for whatever bikini line when I'm like I can make bikinis. That's the idea. Like now you have an idea because think about it. We every day we're buying things. Like you have a dope sweater on, you rings and jewelry. Yeah, your look is wanted, right? You can sell that. Like, and I don't mean like sell that like.
Sell that.
Other people sell that.
I actually got to get out of here because
No,
my shift is getting ready to start.
You can sell that.
No, but no,
Yes,
like that's what
I've
I'm
been
saying.
using this for payment for a long time. The fuck?
No, but you can actually. That's some real shit. It's like you try to think of like creative things to do, and I'm like, man, shit. You know.
That's why I asked.
Creative shit. No, that's real shit.
Because I have some dope ass app ideas, and every time someone has told me how to do it, it always seems like too much of a hassle. That goes back to what I was saying with you. Manufacturing is tedious. When you have to think about bringing something into fruition, it takes so much time. A lot of people get overwhelmed, and I don't think that it's something that I'm passionate enough about to go full speed ahead on it because it's just something that I have an idea on.
Right.
So a lot of it is fear because I like told a couple people, like took a meeting. Motherfuckers always want to sit down for a meeting. Yeah, let's take a meeting. This is lunch.
Right.
Or you can always, if you can't create it from scratch, alter an existing idea.
Right.
Alter something that's already like, you know, ask the manufacturers. Do y'all got templates? Y'all got something y'all already create that I can start from? Yes, we have templates. We have something that you can, and then you make your alterations or whatever.
I like that you changed your voices as you and then you went to the other person. You heard it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we do have.
I mean, a lot of people are afraid of the prototype stage. Like, you know, when they think about an idea, the first thing that they think about is like, yo, I want to go straight into getting this a mass quantity of this, and let's figure out how we can get it off and make some profit. Not understanding that the first year or 2 years of your business is going to be dedicated to prototype if you want this business to turn up and to be something really very, very lucrative. You know what I'm saying?
Technology now makes that's the great thing about technology and where we're at with technology.
Right.
Where the internet is at and everything. It's made everything easier. Whereas 10 years ago when you needed to get in contact with a manufacturer, it was tough as fuck.
Right.
You would have had to spend some bread. Prototyping, for instance, to get you a mold of what you want, 10 years ago, that was hard as fuck. But now we got 3D printers. We got 3D printers that cost $200-$300 that if you create the model in 3D space, which is what I do, I create 3D models at my job. You can send it to a printer and that thing goes layer by layer.
Right.
And it build up and it build up. And now you got a physical prototype, whereas this would have cost you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 before. Now this costs you, $800, including the machine. Now you can create prototypes for anything that you want. So technology and the internet has eliminated what Nipsey and them always say. It cut out the middleman.
Right.
You don't need that person that got the knowledge like,
And then it's a
I can
gateway.
hook you up with something. No, I can find that shit. Or they got machines now that make it easier for me to operate with. So
Yeah, it gives you the ability to, because prototypes are just the gateway between a business going right or not going anywhere. So we have the ability to do that. And just to go back to what you were saying about fear of creating certain things, like, you know, sometimes when you think in a sense of let's get this prototype done, like he said, there's 3D printers, there's layouts to where you can fully in detail see how something is going to function. Once you get that all the way out, I'm talking about all the way out your brain and you can see it, a lot of the other part of the business just fucking comes naturally.
But what she
It's
said,
crazy.
you know, it's like I get what she said because I find myself doing it. I'm sure a lot of people do that.
Right.
You know, first of all, you gotta be real with yourself, right?
Yeah.
And she said, like, I'll have an idea. That's a great fucking idea. But it becomes so strenuous trying to get that shit going, and I'm not passionate enough for that. Sometimes it's just that.
Right.
Sometimes I sit back. You know how many ideas me and Baju on the phone talking about? We talk about so much shit that we only gonna actually do in real life tomorrow. Maybe one of them. And we talk about 10 things that should be starting, right? And then you just like, all right. if I was that high power passionate on it, like I was with my podcast,
Right.
I said I want to do it. I talked to a nigga. He gave me the chance to do it. I went immediately and did that shit.
Right.
Started it. Now I started something,
Right.
and I love it. And this is what
Congratulations. Shout out to the
Thank you.
Cookout.
Right.
Thank you.
Hey.
So I totally feel where it's come from because it's not. Sometimes you're not as passionate for that, but I'm glad also. And I'm glad you said when I said I asked about your background and how you said, damn, I can make one of these, and then so what I did was kind of in retrospect, I killed myself with like mentally I defeated myself by saying like, damn, I didn't go to school for this, like I can't do that. It's like I already, but when I needed my phone jailbroken, I went to YouTube and oh shit, that's how you jailbreak. Man,
Right.
Unlock my shit.
Right.
Straight up.
You can do that for anything.
Anything.
Right.
Anything like YouTube, Google.
Right.
Like it's almost no excuse to not to know anything nowadays because if you don't know, you can find out in seconds.
Right.
Of what you need to know about something. You know what I mean? But I thought that was ill as fuck with that. You know what I mean? You starting that because, you know, because I didn't want people to get the idea like, well, damn, I didn't go get a degree and I didn't go do that.
Exactly.
Do this. And you kind of telling people like, no, my nigga, you don't need to do that. Like,
It's important to write your ideas down. Like that's the first. If you don't go to school, like I went to several different schools, and it's not for everybody, especially if you have a self-taught mind. Like my problem with schooling was that if you give me homework, something that I have to take home and do, okay, I've conquered that already. So I don't want to talk about this again today. We need to move on.
Straight up.
That was my problem. That was really my problem.
We really need to move on
Once
because I was doing my
once I
homework in
know it-
class. Like, all right,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. We just talked about that. Boom, I'm ready. And I didn't like the pace that it was going. So now, fast forward, I literally come up with an idea and I have to write it down immediately. Right. And like I came and shot a show last week, and when I got the phone call to shoot the show, I already had the idea for the show in my notebook. Boom, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Right. Okay.
So if it's something that you're passionate about, all your passions somehow come into one another, and you receive a platform to do other things, like have a conversation with this man who's talking about technology, which isn't normally your audience, but there are going to be 2 or 3 people that have an interest in technology, and they can expand it that way. So I think that's dope in itself because this is not the norm.
Right.
Well,
I can't put shit from IKEA together.
Like once you start something, it opens up so many opportunities for different things. For instance, once I start selling the VR headsets, I mean, I sold maybe 130 something the first 2 months, but what out of those 130 something I sold, maybe 3 people already knew what they were. The other people bought them just off of, like, I seen it on Instagram. I seen somebody with it. I seen, like, but what is it? Tell me, like, how do I use it? And I would always refer them. I used to have to tell them, go download this app, go download this app, go download this app. And it was like, damn, bro, like, create your own content. The more, like, that gives you another avenue into something. Like, not only are you selling the hardware, but now you can create content yourself. And then when they download it, go download my app. It provides you different opportunities and avenues. And yeah, once again, it didn't take no schooling to figure out. All I needed was a 3D camera. If I thought about it too hard, it was like, how the fuck I'm gonna create a 3D environment or something like that? Like, nah, like, technology makes everything sort of easier and possible. You just got to figure out the right tools to use. Just like, I mean, if a nigga making shirts, if the nigga hand drawing on the shirts and he dope, like, bro, like, hand draw that on the shirt, take a picture of it, put it in Photoshop. They got a machine that can then print that on the shirt. Like, whereas you just spent 10 hours trying to make one shirt, or like maybe you want to make this shirt 10 times. Like, they got machines and shit that help you do everything a little more efficient and makes all the processes easier. So that's with ideas, that's with physical products, that's with software, anything you want to create.
So we talked about well, I thought, you know, I remember you said earlier, you know, especially with you talking about technology now, especially with a lot of youth, and why it's important that we understand come to grips with technology when the world is just going that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I joke with I think it was Drew or Dope Boy. I joked with somebody outside when I talked about, I think it was Dope Boy when I said, we are, when it comes to technology, we are now our moms when they first get an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they just don't know what to do when they
gosh.
send you emojis and shit. They don't really know. We laughing at them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, somebody else laughing at us.
Straight up.
Or when it comes to any kind of new technology thing, and because we're so behind the curve on this shit.
Yep.
I'm talking about as a mass, as a people, we're behind the curve. We got cats like you schooling, and I'm sure cats other places schooling on why we need to take technology serious and really come to grips with what it is, because it's going down regardless. But what I want to do is I want to explain. We talked about something off air. We talked about Bitcoin and what it is and where is it the world, where is it going with Bitcoin? Is that like why we should know about that?
Well,
Please explain.
Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and just based on what I know about it, I don't know. It's different. Like when you think about cryptocurrencies, because if you download the app right now, it might be 780 different coins, or what they call alternative coins. The most famous one we know about is Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of that. But that's just tech. That's once again, that's the advancement of technology. Nothing will stay the same. Nothing is going to stay the same as what it previously is. And like me, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't understand fully the implications of Bitcoin. But like, I surround myself when I know stuff like that exists. I make sure, like, hey man, which one of you brothers know Bitcoin? Like, which one of you? And yeah, I know at least like 3 dudes that's serious about it. This one dude told me about white pages or whatever, and nobody even know about ICOs and white pages. And it's these people that they got an idea. They created an idea, put it on paper, and they created a coin to back their idea. And now you get to buy the coin based on the idea. And those dudes made millions in seconds, literally. Wow. In seconds. Soon as they released it, so many people bought the coin or whatever, they make millions in seconds. Bitcoin will totally transform the way we deal with currency. Like I asked him, I was like, so when do you cash out of Bitcoin? He said, why would I cash out? Like, why would I transfer my Bitcoin money back over into currency? He was like, you thinking about it all wrong. He was like, in a minute, he was like, if you go on Subway right now, you can spend your Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Like if you go into these different places, he was like, in a minute, it won't be what it is. So like you said, we like our mamas, like when they get the iPhone, just certain things in technology, even if you don't understand them, support or find somebody that look like you or that you trust that do understand it, and go forward with those people. With the virtual reality and the kids and stuff, I knew if y'all don't experience virtual reality, it's no way y'all gonna create nothing in virtual reality. How can y'all learn how to create something or an app in virtual reality or something like that, and y'all haven't even experienced it? And most people think we ahead of the curve just by the experience. Like as soon as we get to experience, I'm up on the new wave. Like, no, you ain't on the new wave till you create something inside.
I already created an idea while I'm sitting here on the low. So as soon as we stop talking, I'm not going to tell you the idea. I'm just going to get some information. Yo, I have the dope-ass idea. And I almost want to say it because if I don't do it, I know somebody else should. That's what you're saying. It's a dope idea.
Well, that's also something. We
don't say it.
Yeah, right.
We keep our ideas real close to the chest and everything.
Okay.
And in some cases,
but you won't
that
come
is
in.
the proper
if you do
thing.
it, you won't come in.
I would never use your idea if it was your idea. I would always empower you to create your own idea. Only you gonna be as passionate about your thing.
That's what I'm saying.
As you create it. If I try and create it, I'll be doing it for the dollars. Like, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try to go with it. Like, nope. Anything you ain't passionate about, you ain't gonna stick with it till it get rough.
That's why I need to have my own.
We almost didn't have Fliptendo VR, bro. I remember getting the invoice and the shipping costs, and just something wasn't what I added it up to be, and it was like, God damn. Like
We hate some shipping, don't we? I paid for it already. Just give it to me, dog.
I had already put my little. I was like, I could take a loss on that little down payment. I done gave that little 30%, but damn. But it was like, bro, you already got these pre-orders. You done told people about it and everything. And it was like, just take a chance. Like even if you get these motherfuckers and you sit up with them, like you had them, And
These were your bone density scanners.
Huh? Yeah.
Come on, my movie buffs.
But it was like There is a point in everybody's idea and everybody's little thing where it's like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I could just turn around, but then I can sit here, hindsight is 2020. I can sit here now and probably say like I made it through that night and I'm glad I did. I remember I rolled me up a blunt and I sat there and it was like, hell nah, this can't be. And just literally considered pondering and it would have never existed. My little cousins would have never had VR headsets. It's a lot of people that got them. $65 for the controller, the headset, the headphones, and everything. That would have cost you, a supreme amount of money outside of that.
Yeah.
And if I had not brought it there, like how many people would have not experienced it? And even just on my name, like people bought it just out of respect. Like, you're a black man, you did something, I'm going to buy
That's
it.
dope.
Straight up. So,
And you're on WeBuyBlack.com too, right?
yeah, I originally sold on WeBuyBlack.com because I didn't have my website. I thought it was going to take too much money to create my website. Then I ran into a website called Wix.com, which basically create all these templates and you get to create your website for free and then you pay for domain and hosting, which costs you,
Do your research, obviously, because you got it all together based on research.
For real.
And I'm just saying,
For
you
real.
spend all that time on Google looking up stupid shit. Figure out what you want to do with your life.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
Google that.
There's something for everything.
Google
Straight
that.
Everything you want to learn, there's a 12-year-old telling you how to do it on YouTube.
Yo.
I can be creating shit.
Hey, the
That's
worst
real.
thing is, I'm telling you, anything you want to learn how to do, just go on YouTube and it's like a 9-year-old dude like, it was just like, you have to do it like this. Don't, and then they giving you details too. Like,
And
the
I just
first
thought of
7
another
times
idea.
I used the other one, you have to download. Like,
And you gotta have enough pride to actually sit there and listen to that little motherfucker. Like for real. He's sitting there.
or you gotta have enough knowledge to know in this era what a professional looks like in different industries.
For real.
On certain tech shit, you like, nah, this some shit a young motherfucker who got the time to fucking invest to figure this shit out.
Right.
They know that shit. These motherfuckers be watching. We watching my nephews and nieces and shit. You know how we used to be so into video games? Like, certain motherfuckers just like, man, I play motherfucking PlayStation all day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's motherfuckers who watch YouTubes of other people who previously played PlayStation.
So
all
the
day.
youngin, that's what, dude, when he's now on PlayStation, he's watching. He got like 4 or 5 channels he watch.
Of just games being played by other people.
Yeah. He think they funny and all kind of shit. They got tips and shit.
My nephew watches Nerf War videos all day on YouTube.
Wizards 101. My niece watches
just
Wizards 101 all day.
And these little white boys down in, they got a big ass house, so they got a garage. You see them, they got tools and shit. People send them free shit and everything. And I always tell them, you watch these dudes so much, like create your own. Like it's obvious that kids like you.
But they looking at it like, it's right there. Why
create my own?
There you go
Fuck is your
again.
problem?
Why would they do it for themselves if they could watch it being done? And that's what it is.
No.
So you asking the question that I posed, you're not living life because you're watching it.
No, he's not creating because like he has no care to and like he doesn't understand the benefits of it yet. Like you're making him, that dude makes $10,000 an episode because like little kids like you watch like $10,000 to my nephew means nothing. Like what I'm gonna do with money? Like and I gotta entice him. Like no, people will send you free stuff when Primetime Toys. I got a sponsorship with Primetime Toys, which is a Nerf gun. They create Dart Zone blasters, which is a foam little blasters or whatever. They're just like Nerf guns. But when he's seen that they sent me free guns. Like when he seen that they sent me just like those people on YouTube that he watched, like they sent you that? Like, I need to create my own YouTube channel. Now you want to create it now, rather than the money and just setting yourself a base or anything like that. Like, no, they send free stuff. Like, they send toys. Like, yes, you have to offer some type of leverage. Exactly.
So, and I seen the video of you with the kids with the mask.
Exactly.
Like, you had the money with the mask. Talk about that a little bit, and your whole point behind that.
All right. I mentioned it earlier. I got a bunch of little cousins. And every time I see them, I mean, they always want to go to the ice cream truck. They always, it's ice cream trucks up and down there. And I always got a backpack full of, anytime I cash a check or anything, go to the bank, I get 100 ones, no matter what. I just get 100 ones, throw them in my backpack. So when I pull up on the block, they always there, and it's always a bunch of them. And yeah, I used to just give them dollars. I used to just give them, hey man, you need $1 too? You need $1? And that way, I talked to this dude named Idris. And you think I'm smart in tech. This dude, 20 years old, he got a partnership with the NBA right now. He creating stuff in AR.
Idris sounds like the dude that's going to be good in tech.
Yes.
Like, kind of like Morpheus.
Yes.
Definitely that kind of name.
Idris is the dude.
It's like
but
sex game week, but it's tech game week.
But
his
What?
virtual sex game,
we talk
his virtual sex game's off the
shit
chain.
on Sims.
on Don't do my boy like
your virtual
that.
sex game
Nah,
is top notch.
we talked about incentive-based learning, and he wants to create like a what they would call an incubator. Like in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, they do these things called incubators where we're building. We have all the tools. We got computers. We got 3D printers. Y'all pay us $100 a month, and y'all come in here and y'all get to use whatever y'all want for different like plans. You know, y'all come in here, y'all can create, y'all can use our machinery. Those incubators. He wants to create it for the kids, but they don't have to pay. He wants to let them do shoes and stuff. I'm gonna get them the Yeezys. I'm gonna get them the MacBook, and he knows how to design the technology where when you walk in the door, you swipe a card. It log your hours, how many hours you was in here. So based on that, like you spend so many hours here learning, now you got incentives to keep them from just sitting in the house on technology all day.
Is she listening to you? Because she's on the...
She do multitasking.
Bruh, I'm writing my idea down. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about right now. I'm writing my idea
You know
down.
what you're doing? Okay.
So it's just the incentive-based learning. Give them an incentive to do something. So with my little cousins, yeah, I wasn't finna give them no Yeezys or nothing, but just to start off, like, y'all gonna work for these dollars. And I believe if you challenge children, like outside of school and everything, like this is necessary, like whether you believe it or not. And once they get going, nobody want to feel stupid. You don't want your cousin to be next to you answering all the questions and getting all the dollars. Like, Mike got $15 in his hand now, and you got $2. So it all started with just, and yeah, it all started with simple math problems. 5 plus 7, 2 plus 2.
That's so good.
And then I realized, like, what grade are you in? You in third grade? Like, you in the 5th grade? Like, yeah, what's 6x plus equals 9? And for them to be able to, some of them to be able to, oh man, that's 3. Oh man, 4x equals 12. Like me understanding that, putting that variable next to that number means that's multiplication. That was big for me to just understand that about them. So now to understand where your mind is, I can challenge you on different things, and you realize it's useful to know that information.
See,
Not
I need
just
vocabulary questions.
Yeah.
I need vocabulary questions.
I was giving them word problems.
I got 10
pieces of pizza and somebody takes 6 away from me and they give me 13, like for you to answer back fast hell 16. Like, oh, you was on it. You could follow those numbers and translate those words into those signs and everything. That's big. Like, and we use it for, drug dealing and shit. But for them to know, like, that matter, and I need to pay attention in class because, like, outside of school, cuzzo, he gonna see me, and I'm gonna see him, like, and he gonna have some dollars, and I don't want to be the kid that's never receiving dollars. I don't want to be the one that can't answer it. And I told him I'm gonna start popping up at y'all schools. And it gave me insight into them, how some of them received. Some of them was getting frustrated, like, man, I don't don't like math. Like, you do like math. You don't like not getting the answer right, or you don't like taking the time to figure it out. And based on that, like, I know you a hell of a problem at school with your teacher then. If you like this with your big cousin or whatever, and I got dollars, they ain't got nothing for you at school. Like, I can imagine how you is at school. So now it then became like, man, I'm going to start popping up at your schools on y'all. And then that became like, hey, man, on Wednesdays, we're going to do some tutoring. Like, so just...
check you out.
The kids is the kids is the motivation. I always had a passion for the kids, and I knew I had to tie that into my business.
They're the future.
If you go on fliptendoelectronics.com right now, you'll see pictures of the kids with the headphones in. I make sure if I do an interview or something, my first interview, I did it in the garage so that they could see. They was outside running around, but they seen the dude come with the camera and the lights and everything, and like, what Jeremiah doing? What is he back there doing or whatever? And even when I do interviews, like, hey, man, run this camera for me. Like, I set up my camera, like, watch the camera, make sure everything record. So just including them and teaching them what it's about. So it's two things. If y'all interested in what y'all hear about the kids, fliptendoelectronics.com. That's where all my products is sold, and also other electronics. And Dart War LA. Dart War LA is this thing I throw for the kids where I went and bought like 40-something Nerf guns and Dart Zone. Well, I got to say Dart Zone blasters first. Those people, shout out to Brian at Prime Time
so
Toys.
People understand what kind of guns you're talking about. They know Nerf. So Nerf,
exactly.
They know spongy, dark kind of.
Exactly. So the first event, we was just doing backyards and stuff where we would set up little obstacles. I bought all the guns, the protective gear or whatever, and just allowed them to have fun. You got to captivate the youth before you can start teaching them, before you can assume the position of a leader or influencer or advocate for them. Like, they got to figure they cool with you. So for me to... yeah, y'all don't... I pull up and y'all not doing nothing on a Saturday. Y'all just all sitting around here like, you know, all right, I got the means, I got the bread. Like, I went on OfferUp and just bought a bunch of used guns and everything. And now, built obstacle. And what you did realize, it's not just fun. It now shows them how to
strategize,
camaraderie, team building experience and everything. Work on teams. Like, I remember the first one we did, one set of kids is in the front yard, set of kids is in the backyard. Y'all run to the backyard. Y'all got to figure out how to, and kill each other.
Still the flag.
Kids start going through the alley and breaking through the little doors, hopping the gate, just using different kind of strategies to now, and that's the kind of stuff they need. They need to actually exercise their minds.
Problem solving.
Exactly. But it's not your traditional problem solving. And like, nobody teach y'all like this. Nobody actually addresses y'all or encounters y'all on y'all level. Like, so
it's like a step down from learning in the field. Like, you're getting the experience, you're understanding, and then you can end it on a solid note, as in having the camaraderie or good game. Or it's even if kids are not, you're not an athlete, like you're not a basketball player, you're not a football player, you're not left out. There are still ways for you to get that energy out and get those problem-solving scenarios going and strategize, because that's important for you to learn how to do in an adult world. What would you say the first step would be for a child or teenager, like your little cousins who you say are watching the Nerf and not going out and ready to link up with you, like, hey, how do we build our own? Or the adult that has a great idea, what would you say the first step is to not being scared to just delve into this type of scenario and make your, dream or your idea, bring it into fruition?
You talking about creating your own Nerf gun?
She's talking about her own idea she was just not listening to, building in the corner. She's like, so what do I do next when I leave?
Okay. I try to incorporate you guys out there, but you know what? It is about me. You're damn straight. So what I got right here is... No, I'm just kidding.
The first step is always research. It's always for instance, I wanted to create my own video game console or my own Android box to where I can have it preloaded with games, and it's the same experience, but you're not spending $400 on the console. Like, you actually spending $100, but you got the controller and everything. First person I talked to, They told me it was gonna cost $34,000. I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be
So
doing
good
this.
talking to you. It was
You
so
know?
good talking to you. How your mama do it?
And then,
30 racks.
But then after that, figuring out, like, you know, through more research and asking the correct questions to Google, like asking Google the correct questions and getting the answers, like, nah, bro, like, you just need to find somebody. You can buy a pre-existing box, or it's these things. It's a Raspberry Pi, this thing. Oh, you know how...
You can hook the mic right there and...
Oh, yeah. You know how the Nintendo just came out? They just came out with the old retro Nintendo.
Right.
And it sold out. It costs what? $2 something. They selling them for $300 on eBay, but they're sold out. I ordered this thing. It's just a chip, but I ordered a case with it. But this chip, you can download what they call an emulator on here. An emulator can emulate any gaming system before PlayStation 3. So PlayStation 2 games all the way back to Atari. And you see what I got here. I got the old retro controller to go to it. So if I HDMI and hook this up to the TV right now, I might not got the old Nintendo box, but I got Super Mario Brothers on here. I got Mike Tyson Punch Out on here. I got Tecmo Bowl. I got all the things, and this thing cost me $35.
Stop it.
This
Cut it
chipset
out.
right here cost me $35, and a little research on the internet showed me that I can now download stuff to here for free. For free. It might be a little gray area in legality because they say you need to own the game in order to download the ROM. But if you just
it's a Fire Stick generation, we'll be all right.
Yeah, if you
Because I got a little box on my TV and I done seen everything. I didn't see shit they ain't finished writing yet.
I also got to say, because they can't see this on the podcast, he's just holding like the inside of your computer.
Basically.
But
Just
it's
so
like
we're clear.
2 inches by like
it's
3
it's
inches.
the size of a credit card.
But I'm going to tell you what, it's not a
But
Raspberry
the
Pi
chip
or
it
a
comes
potato
with-
chip.
It comes with 4
It
USB
looked like
ports.
the time you first lost at your first Madden game, you broke the box and the
Yep.
chip that came out of it.
Yeah, it looked like
The
like
inside
where
of
you
a Sega.
It looked like where you give up when you start breaking your shit apart and breaking it down to see what it do.
I can't
Oh,
put it
I-
back together.
Man,
And you also can't tell your mom that you took it apart. Shit.
Everybody call that a motherboard, no matter what they think it is. It's a motherboard.
That shit cost you $35, dog.
$35.
$35.
And then you buy the SD card with it. So on the computer, I wrote all the stuff with the SD card. Like I download the games to here, put it in here, and now, yeah, I'm not beholden to go out to Nintendo, especially if I don't got the bread. Especially if y'all playing like y'all sold out to create a higher demand for it, so that y'all can sell it at a higher price and all that. Like I ain't playing y'all games. Like I ain't
I'm
playing
paying $17 for a Nintendo today, and if you have
35,
anything
yeah,
else to say about it, dog,
$35
what?
And $16 for the controller or
Damn.
whatever. And now I compare these two together.
All
and
the
now
systems.
I got the whole experience. Oh, now I got the whole experience for less than $100, less than $70-$80. And yeah, I didn't have to go out. I didn't have to contribute to y'all power structure. Like
Right.
I can create my own. And not only can I do that with this, I can. And that's the thing. Once kids realize, oh, I can do that with this. Like if you look up Raspberry Pi, that's what this is called, a Raspberry Pi. If you look up Raspberry Pis,
All
Sounds
I'm gonna
like
get
something
is
else.
Marie Calendar $7.99 month specials.
Sounds
when I
like
look for
something
the
else.
shit.
now if you look these up on YouTube, people are creating robots out of these. They're creating smart mirrors out of these. They're creating remote control cars out of these because all you got to do is write a script and now you can control it. So this can act as a computer. Right now I'm building my own customized gaming educational stations where I got 2 Raspberry Pis. I shouldn't be telling you. Yeah, I got 2 Raspberry Pis underneath the desk or whatever. But now they're powering. I got a TV connected to the desk.
This
And
is hypothetical, right?
yeah. So for $250, like you got a computer desk, you can game on this desk, you got a TV, you got everything like in your room, like in a little corner, whereas you don't gotta have a TV over here, the computer over
What we got to
here.
do to make some space so you do all that here while you hang out?
Oh, man,
we gotta make this your lab because
This
You
shit
gotta
gonna be
be
a
around
bakery in here. Raspberry Pis everywhere.
Straight up. If you go to my house right now, I got 4 or 5 of these just ordered because at the Dart War. Now, once again, idea. I was at the bowling alley. We was waiting to bowl. While we was waiting to bowl, it's an arcade at the bowling alley. I spent at least $25-$30 in there with my little nephew playing the games and stuff. But they got the Mario Brothers. They got all the games. And it's like, I know in my head, buttons, controller, those same things that handle with those buttons, those things connect to here. That kit, that thing only costs $25. That control. So all I gotta do is program this thing, connect those things, and now I got myself my own
arcade little shit.
Arcade. So for the Dart Wars, when your kids come to the Dart Wars, and the Dart Wars is open to everybody. It'll be on the 16th of next month in September.
You're gonna promote it on your Instagram too, right?
Yep, it's on my Instagram and it's on dartwarla.com. But yeah, while your kids is waiting for the Dart Wars, because everybody can't play at the same time. Right. And, it's a shooting range for them to aim at different stuff, but then it's the organized games. But while they wait, it's 5 desks over here for y'all to play some arcade games. Right. And not only arcade games, you can put your PS3 in that desk. You can put your PS4, your Xbox One. So now I got 5 desks over here while y'all waiting to play this, or while y'all, no, you good. And while y'all waiting to do that, I got something for y'all to be doing. The same thing the bowling alley do. It ain't gonna cost you. It's gonna be free.
Right.
But the fact is, when you experience something you like, when you experience something that you dig, don't think that you just gotta experience it. You can create it. You can create your own version of it. It just if I didn't know that, I would always think that machine at the inside of the arcade, that thing costs $4,000. $8,000. Like, no, if you get one of these, that's $35, and you go to Home Depot and get you some wood and know how to, use some wood tools and everything. You can create whatever you want to create at your own price. Like, stop just being the consumers of things and be creators. So then people can buy black. People can shop with black people. Like right now, not that it's a shortage of black owners. It's just a shortage of black owners in certain stuff that we do a majority of stuff in. Gaming and stuff like that. Like, we can't buy with y'all because ain't none of y'all in this industry. Everybody is in clothing or something over here. We can come to your shows and purchase with you. And Robin, I tell all those, anybody that got a social media presence, there's no way you shouldn't be connected to a product or developing, even if you don't know how to do it. Like, hook up with somebody that got a little bit of knowledge or something and find y'all way in. These dudes are marketing departments. Marketing departments got these big-ass budgets and cannot reach the amount of people that a Ha Davis or Fat Boy SSC, those type of people. Like, you couldn't even imagine reaching that many people daily. And, we do it for jokes now. We do it for social media exposure, and we'll sell some tummy tea to get a piece of something. But y'all got that platform, and y'all could be owners of something, moving towards gaining equity. And
so don't think that you are only confined to enjoying things. You can create the things you can enjoy.
Straight up.
You can create the things you want to enjoy. Those experiences, you can create them on your own too. And that's so important. Yep. That's beyond important.
And the last thing I want to tell y'all about is I'm doing this thing with Creative Group Economics. Shout out to my boy Jeremy Darby, Pop Darby, Pop_Darby on Instagram. But I call this thing the 99+1. And that just stands for the 100. But it's based on the 100 monkey social phenomenon. But we'll go into that later. But basically, it's 50 people putting up $100 for 3 months. And in 3 months, you guys will have $15,000 to do something with. Like, when we start doing that kind of stuff, we can strategically own products. We can strategically infiltrate different industries. And whereas it cost you $300, but now because of your $300, us collectively all together, now we all own equity in a product that can go as high as we want it to be. Whereas me, I spent my money and I single-handedly, I produced my VR headset for under like $5,000, got my first shipment, and I sold out in under 30 days.
Wow.
That means I got my money back and I profited. I had over $1,000 in profit. If I can do that by myself, can you imagine the reach of 50 people? Right. If all of us invested in something and then we got to push it together, and not only do we got to push it together, now we got $5,000 to get a product. We could put $1,000 aside to pay for some marketing on the most popular, pages and everything, and that still leave y'all with $9,000 left over. Now y'all can take 4 or 5 of that and invest in some Bitcoin and stuff like that, and so that kind of thing. Like, we need to think strategically to be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. You might not can create, but you can be a part of something that is creating. If y'all want to know anything about that, go to 99plus1ee.org. And the plus is the only thing that's spelled out. So it's the number 99, plus, the number 1, ee.org. And you see, I can name off these websites. I create websites in a day now, 2 days now with Wix.com. Y'all, anybody that want to create your own website, don't go looking for somebody to do it. Go to Wix.com, and they got templates and everything set up. Everything is drag and drop. You can change everything about the page. You can add like payment little things, and all of it is free until it's time to decide, like, I want to go live with this. Then you got to pay for your domain name and all of that stuff.
Right.
And that stuff is still you can still get started under $100. That ain't no super undertaking.
And it's invested in yourself.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's those 3 websites that if you want to support me or see what I'm doing or anything, check out those 3 websites. That's fliptendoelectronics.com.
That's where they can get the.
That's where you get the VR headset. We got the USB controllers. We got the Bluetooth headsets, the earphones. We got Android products. You can get those things from fliptendoelectronics.com. dartwarla.com is where you can get the information on the event for the youth. If you got some little cousins, if you got little brothers, if you got teenage kids, bring them out. It's going to be music, food, and all of that.
Nerf Wars?
Yep, Nerf War LA. No, dartwarla.com.
She just got you.
Right. dartwarla.com. And that event is next month. And I ask that all y'all bring y'all kids out, and I hope I don't reach capacity. But now we got a big old parking lot, 5,000 or more square feet. Yeah, so now I got the opportunity to build the obstacle course and all of that stuff. So that's super exciting.
And what's number 3?
99plus1ee.org.
Dope, man. Like, I want to say, man, first of all, it's a pleasure having you today, my brother.
Always.
You know, I've been knowing you for years, man. You always been a bright, at the time, but I thought, kid.
Straight up.
You know what I mean, younger homie. It wasn't a kid, but, just a younger homie. You know, but to watch you grow into, just brilliant dude, man. I really respect that.
Appreciate it.
You especially for your people, especially for the youth, and especially for the advancement of people in general.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I totally dig that, man. I'm glad you got to come by and talk about your headset and talk about your controllers and all the things you're doing. And I just wish you continued success.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Dope, man, 'cause we need it's a lot more flips we need out here.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? To be talking that shit you talk, because a lot of it, because I'm learning. You know what I mean? I didn't. It's like with the defeated thing. I have to learn to not do that. Like, tell myself I can't do something when I can do anything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that was a lesson learned live on the fucking air. I just
straight up.
You know what I mean? But and with the Cookout, man, it's always an open door policy. I would love for you to come back and talk about your event.
Absolutely.
Definitely talk about your event. Let's promote that. And anything else you got new or want to promote, it's open door policy, man. To come back and come fuck with me.
Oh, always. I'm definitely going to do it. And I got one more. I just got a message for y'all, man. I say it all the time. Support black businesses. Support black businesses or don't. And we won't solve no problems. We're going to be in the same, straight up, we're going to be in the same situation. But if we learn to somehow come together in unity and support each other, we can eliminate half the problem. Not half. We can eliminate more than half the problems that we having. And come together, put y'all money together, and not only just your money, y'all resources. You'll be surprised if, like, just say that 50 people. If I didn't ask them, like, y'all don't got to bring no money. But everybody, when y'all come in here, let's go on y'all phone and everybody write down, like, the people you can contact that you can actually get to do something that's a resource to you.
Ooh, come
Whether
on,
they a
reliable
lawyer,
people.
You know, lawyer, business lawyer, whether they buy business proposals, whether they make T-shirts or whatever. And then if all 50 of y'all list y'all resources, whenever anybody in this group need to get something done, they can come to what is called a resource bank or whatever.
Right.
And they can decide, like, hey, man, I want to use that resource. I don't got it in my phone, but whatchamajigga got up here that whatchamajigga knows somebody that do it. Yeah. You just get a lot more accomplished together. Like, we individually go after stuff alone a lot, and it's because we want to see all the bread back. We don't really understand equity and all of that stuff yet.
Right.
So just that message, man. Support black businesses and unify amongst yourself. You ain't got to join my group. Start a group amongst your homies. Y'all do it. Y'all figure out that it works.
The compound.
Straight up. To take 10 of y'all and make it happen, put y'all bread together and do something. But the idea has to live amongst our community. And that's the whole thing with the 99+1. It's a social phenomenon where they put 100 monkeys on an island in Japan after they dropped the bomb, and they want to see whether, like, life could exist on the island, whether people could live. And they used to drop them sweet potatoes so they can eat, but they would drop them in the sand. And one, like an 18-month-old monkey, she decided, like, we don't like the taste of the sand, so she washed her sweet potato off. And she taught her mom how to do it. And little by little, everybody in, like, the troop start washing their sweet potatoes off. And they said once they hit the 100th monkeys across the ocean, and just everybody collectively picked up on it. So that's the whole mentality. If we can get 50 and we can accomplish this, like, you know, it might take some hitting to get everybody on, to get it working. But once we hit that number, it's a social phenomenon, and it's proven that once you hit a certain number, that collectively a small group, that's the whole premise, that a small group of people is all it takes to get the large group to follow. So just if a small group of us just start sticking together, unifying, putting our dollars together, supporting black businesses and everything, yeah, it might take some chipping away at, but eventually the entirety of our community will learn the action, and they'll start implementing it into their lives. But it all starts with you. It all starts with one person, and then you and your homies, and then your homies and they homies, and getting it together. So that's what I would leave y'all with, man. Stick together, bro.
I dig that, man. And that monkey shit was some real shit. I never heard that.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Look it up.
right.
The 99, the 99 or the 100 monkeys.
That was Parker's phone, everybody. I don't know.
No, it wasn't. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I thought you
Excuse me, I work on stuff. My phone.
So you like you was
stays
turning
on
it down.
silent.
I think was that flip phone? Was that my phone?
Yes.
It was not my phone.
Whoa. But you know,
Yeah, I don't know
a hit dog always barks.
Really?
Hey, y'all
Yeah.
look into the
No, Mr.
raspberry-
Whoever.
Who asked
Y'all
that?
look into the raspberry.
Or as we say in the hood, whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Right.
So,
Just saying that you dealt it.
will they contact you at Instagram and what's social media contact?
Yeah.
Do your Snapchat first.
You got to change. You got to change your name too. You
Look,
got
he
to
know
change your
all.
name.
He know all
You
the
gotta change
tech.
your Instagram name because you know when people got the hella underscores and hella shit going on.
Yeah.
It gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky.
This shit is coding.
Yeah.
We don't want a code name.
Thinking about
For
the
you. I know it's supposed to
//
be a code
colon
name, But
739
code niggas is taking the code part.
FB 37
/
29
You know what's always funny for us
D735.
is just watching people who are good at tech on one element and not be good at the other element of tech, like the social media, like the social parts of it.
Right.
Like he sat here and broke down everything about tech. He's like, so what's your social media? Like, you know, I kind of you can get at, but you know.
You can find me on you can find me on Instagram. That's the most active social media I'm on. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Snapchat.
But Fliptendo is your site, right?
Yeah,
He has
Fliptendo
a
Electronics.
he has a great site. Yo, I don't know if you got a chance to look at his site yet.
I have yet.
Flip Tim, though, his site is amazing. Has some amazing shit on it.
Oh, super dope.
Yeah, dope. We were just in
the
a
Technologist, and it's underscores in all of that. Flip underscore the underscore
We knew it.
hood underscore Technologist. There you go. And man, DM me. I always get people DM me, giving me encouraging words, telling me I inspire them and everything. And shout out to all of them. Shout out to the supporters and everybody. I remember I posted my first logo on my thing in November of last year. I'm only like 10 months in. November of last year, I posted my logo, and 9 people liked it.
Damn.
And I was one of those
Right.
9. And I remember
You said that I was one of those 9?
Yeah, one of the hashtags. I was like,
call that 8
I gotta
people,
like
man.
my shit first.
Right.
You know, and I always thought like I'm gonna look back on this and it's gonna be something. Yeah, now I get 200 likes. 100 and some likes on pictures and shit, and that's dope.
I'm out here.
Yeah.
But I
You're
started-
definitely out here.
I started at 9.
Right.
I started at 9, and you gotta believe in your shit first. And you just keep making it happen.
Well, shit, man, that's been a super dope ass show, man. Like I said, thank you again for coming by. We had the beautiful Miss. I keep saying Miss Parker, but I like that because it sounds grown and sexy. If that's okay with you.
Remember Miss Parker, though?
I forgot. It's gonna tie that in. So do I say your whole name? Is it Parker? Okay, got it. Since if I was wrong, I could have changed up in the middle of that.
Right.
Scorsese.
Right.
I'll
No,
allow
the beautiful
it,
Miss
that's
Parker Scott. Isn't it? What's your Instagram, Parker Scott? To let people know.
The THEE Parker Scott.
Super dope.
Those double E's.
THEE Parker Scott.
Gotta
Thing
watch
with that,
them.
the-
People who double E themselves.
Right.
I watch them. You not the, you the.
Right.
Well,
Shade to all
the
the
Parker
other.
Scott
Shade
sounds
to all
awful.
the.
So the Parker Scott is grammatically incorrect. It is the.
It's just when, but in IG community, like you gotta break people by who's I am, the real,
Do we get a lot of these?
and these.
I get a lot of thes. Which
These
is
think that they're the
THE.
only. They think they're elite. These think they're so elite.
Yeah, I'm a the
See,
hood technology.
see,
Right, but that makes sense.
see what I'm saying? But
The Parker Scott sounds awful.
It sounds terrible.
That sounds.
but you could have went to I am Parker Spot.
The
Okay,
Parker
anyway,
Scott?
we went a whole nother.
Badru, what's your Instagram page, man? You wanna?
The Badru.
You know what? I kind of troll
Keep it low.
at local
Okay, I
astronauts
did.
page.
Right.
But I'm at Extra Grizzly, but I'll be having relationship
Hey, we be
problems.
liking
so
some of the
my
same
shit on
females'
private.
pictures too. I noticed that, but I'll just keep to myself.
Man,
I hate
why
the
the
fact that
IG be dry
I hate
snitching that?
I hate that. Oh,
Your boy like
I look
it
at
too.
certain shit. I got certain people I follow, like my little low key little follows, and I go like, oh, man, I'm getting this.
Ladies,
man.
just so you
And
know,
I'm like,
they're
oh,
doing it too.
Hey, it's
They're
people who
doing it
didn't
too.
get a like based on like, ooh, I see the homie.
Ladies, they are doing
Right.
it too. They are doing
I just
it
hate
too.
that. I don't want to be the last name. I just hate that, man. Why you gotta be bad luck and 700,000 people like this? People like, damn.
Right.
man. Why
And
you
it's in
saying-
bold too.
Right.
right, extra block.
Oh no.
letters.
Oh,
Right.
I hate when you go to somebody like say if I'm being creepy on her in her comments. Why when you go to her page? Why just show my quote?
Yeah, at the bottom.
Like, yeah, I don't gotta even go in. It's just mine's is on blast. Like
It
damn.
ain't
man.
even the last one.
That's why if it's that deep,
No,
One of the
I don't know if you fuck with it, but the baby mama feature on Instagram where they can go and see
Oh
the
yeah,
things
who
that
you
you've liked a
No, I
lot.
don't fuck with that. Why would I ever be on that?
No, you were on it because you like things.
No. I'm talking about why would I be on? No, I know that.
I don't like the feature exists.
Right. I hate
That's
that,
when
right.
technology is immoral.
Right.
That's we gotta watch that.
You know, actually,
you're super nosy. Why do you even know about that?
Parker liked it. Like what?
What? That's what you into?
Yeah.
That's what you into. That's
That's
what you
my
into.
first
But
one.
How did you know that I like BBW Paradise page, man? Like, there's all kind of
That's
shit
why there's DMs though. If it's that intense, you need to take to your DMs. Like my DMs with my homegirls are far more reckless than I would
Your
ever
DMs
have
probably
with a stranger.
filled with filth.
We
Your
talk
DMs
so
probably
much shit.
filthy.
Filthy? No.
when they-
I
when
say
there- is
some,
there echo?
I say some pretty ridiculous
Not
stuff.
with you. I'm talking about guys.
Like you have to take stuff about like people's kids to the DMs,
No, you know what,
like
though? I know.
the shape of people's heads. Like
I
damn,
know
I hope they
those
don't
talking
have
about
kids.
what's put in there, not
No,
what
but
you
know,
do.
I notice guys are naturally filthy, right? But depending on how the girls carry themselves, it breaks a
89%.
lot of that filthy down. Like, so somebody who's just like a girl who may be funny or maybe cool, whatever, like she don't get as much hella creepy shit.
No, my DMs are so. I don't think they were ever popping. Like it's super quiet in there. It's so quiet for my DMs. All I do is talk shit with my homegirls all day.
I'm trying to side eye you.
Because
I'm
the
not
shit
sure
you
if I
talk
can-
You get
about.
side eye, but my
because
Instagram
the shit,
feed
when you
is not
read her-
conducive to DMs. Like
Go to
I don't
her
got my
DM.
titties out. I don't got my
That's
ass
what I'm
out.
saying. You know, it's the way you carry yourself. So the guys don't really come with the filth.
Hell
because
no.
They don't look at you as to be receptive to the filth.
And she
No.
seemed like the type to screenshot and repost your comments.
Right? Maybe that's why.
Her shit is screaming that.
You swear that
hashtag
happened, but
this
I just
nigga.
I don't believe it. It didn't
Hashtag
happen.
this nigga.
Hashtag this nigga.
Well,
There we go.
if the
I can't be around
comment
this
fits, we need to see what other people have to think.
Okay, so it's time for me to wrap the show up. Thanks to everybody for coming in.
no more. Hey.
Make sure you tune into the Cookout after hours, which is going to take place now. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Oh shit.
You know,
What I come to?
no, the After Dark show. The After Dark show. This
Technology
light will
with the
turn
quick
blue
shit.
instead of red.
That's creepy.
When you come back, we
A
gotta ask
VR
you about
orgy?
tech orgies.
Good
We gotta
day.
ask them about tech groupies
VR
when you
orgy?
come back. What?
Morality.
Get it.
Already. The man ain't even got up, and you already.
That's not a bad thing what I said. A VR orgy is a beautiful thing. What?
Ooh.
It's the safest thing out.
Thank you guys
My
for
man
tuning
Laura
into
Ron,
the
she just bumped in
Cookout.
one time.
Yeah, Laura Ron in the building.
He's back in the building, back in town, back in the States.
back in the country.
Yeah.
There goes the
Oi,
leprechaun.
oi, oi.
You about to do your thing?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Okay, my man Laura Ron, she's up next, man. We
the
wrapping this
living
up.
room show's coming.
The Cookout, man, has been amazing. My man Flip the Hood Technologist in the building. The Parker Scott definitely in the building. My boy Bob Drew was in the building. And my man Polly Rob was definitely in the building, man. Tune in next time, man, right here on localastronaut.com or check us on iTunes and all the other good shit. Yeah, we out here.